Welcome to the Horror Hangout. Sorry.
Let's try again.
Welcome to the Horror Hangout, a podcast where three bearded film fans watch the best and worst horror movies of all time. My name is Luke Condor with a K, and I'm joined by my regular co-hosts, Mr.
Andy Conduit Turner. Hello.
And Mr.
It's Mr. Ben Errington. Oh God,
Ben Orrington.
It's Mr. Ben Dorrington. Yeah, it is. It's me again. Hello.
Hey.
How the devil are you guys? Good week? Productive week?
I think pretty productive.
You saying earlier you managed to fall over, Ben?
Yeah, I fell over today. Twisted my old foot into
your neighbour and everything.
Well, not quite in front of my neighbour. My neighbour merely appeared after that act of fall had happened in the immediate aftermath, which tends to happen to me a lot. I've never got a moment to kind of catch my breath.
Just lying prone.
I'll tell you about that time when I winded myself I was in an empty room, and then as soon as I winded myself, somebody walked in and asked me a question.
How are you enjoying your food?
Yeah. Oh, what time are you leaving in a minute? That's what they said. And I went, in a minute. Yeah, that's right. What I tried to do was I tried to give a punch bag like a Sweet Chin Music super kick, but there was a yoga mat just below it. So my standing leg completely slipped on the yoga mat from under me, and I landed right like stomach first onto the ground.
Oh, no.
Knocked all the air out of me, and then somebody opened the door and said, "Ben, are you leaving now?" And I was like, I couldn't.
This neighbour,
they're like the Godfather. What are you doing here?
So this neighbour,
an offer, can't refuse. Yeah,
you tripped up, and then your neighbour somehow immediately appeared. It seems like he tripped you up and then helped you back up, almost to gain some favour from you.
He gaslit me.
Yeah,
he made me think
you
that
got right gaslit then.
I got right gaslitted.
It's like you got to be careful, Ben, because you're always falling over. Remember, you should probably give me that bike.
Yeah.
All right, it's probably not safe.
Oh yeah, there you go. I was on a bike.
That yoga mat.
He disguised himself as a yoga mat. I was walking the dog. Dog didn't care though. Dogs don't, do they? When you fall.
I just think you're playing. Oh, look, you're down here where I live. All right.
I think it would take. I think Dennis would start eating my face if I was on the ground for like a couple of minutes. He'd be like, "Right, that's it.
You're fit now.
That's it. He's getting eaten." Oh God. Is everybody?
Can't blame him.
We've got a bit of sunshine in the UK. Is everybody enjoying that?
Yeah, it's been lovely, hasn't it?
Has it though? I mean, the sun's out, but it's
still a bit chilly.
It's still a bit chilly and frosty, and also the sun around here looks like it's dying. I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but it looks like it's like at 50% capacity.
What planet are you
on? Jupiter.
That's your issue.
Is there like a dust cloud surrounding Nottingham right now? Maybe
dust cloud. Yeah, I think it's just like a fog. It's been very foggy around here.
Local power station owner put like a big sort of sun blotting out device, like a big metal
Nottingham's under the dome, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what's happened. We're under the dome.
Bloody hell! We'll come get you out.
Yeah,
we'll come get you out.
First
Can't
COVID,
keep you in there.
Now dome.
Now sun blotting dome.
First COVID, now dome vid. Bloody hell!
Whatever next.
Who can believe it? Whatever next, exactly. There we go. But here we are to talk about a brand spanking new film. Can you believe it?
Love a reason to go to the cinema, take a little trip out.
Speaking of the ages of things, I've got some horror news for you that's kind of related.
Ages of things.
Resident Evil is now really, really old.
Yes, it is.
Like the oldest thing. When did it come out? Like 20, 25 years ago?
Original 26 years ago. And then I think for some reason, even though it's less years, it makes me feel even worse that the remake to a Resident Evil 1 for the GameCube, that is 20 years old.
How can that be true? That's
the GameCube only came out 5 years ago. How is this possible?
But like, that's like when people say the dinosaurs are we're closer to living nearer to Cleopatra than the dinosaurs. I don't know. Whatever way that's the most amazing to think about. That's what the fact is.
Yeah.
But that's like, I don't understand how it was 26 years since the original and only 6 years after that to the remake. And it's been 20 years since that. That doesn't seem like the right way around. Yeah. Surely it should be 6 years ago since the remake.
Yeah. It's crazy that the remake came out like 6 years after the original. That's like, this game's been doing all right, but it's been out for 6 years. Get it remade.
Yeah,
I guess the technology allowed that.
I guess it's just because the jumps in generations were more significant then between like PS1 and then like GameCube. Whereas, I guess if you remade Resident Evil 1 now, it would be VR. Roughly the same, except Chris Redfield would look more like Tom Holland. I guess they'd redo his face.
Tom Holland.
Yeah, they'd have slightly shinier eyes, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, he'd be really young, 17, 15, 12.
Ageless.
Ageless. I think I saw another anniversary. Blade turned 20 years old. I think it might be today.
Is that not the... I think it might be the sequel. I think it might be Blade 2.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good. That does make more sense, doesn't it? Blade 2, 2002. Yep, you're correct. You're correct. I stand corrected, said the man in the orthopedic shoes.
Very good.
Yeah.
Oh, Blade 2. And just as we're on the precipice of another... Well, Blade's on his way back, isn't he? 20 years on.
Yeah.
And we're on the precipice of Dr. Michael Morbius. The new Marvel Legend we're all dead excited for.
I've seen that trailer or a variant of that trailer for Morbius more times than I've seen my own knackers. I don't know.
They really are trying to hammer home that it's like related to Marvel in some way, aren't they?
It is a Marvel film. I know a lot of you don't like the guy that's in it, but please.
Yeah, because I think there's a clip where he goes, they go, "Who are you?" And he goes, "I am Venom." And he goes, "Actually, just kidding, I'm Michael Morbius." And it's like, oh, shut up. Don't go shoehorning that in there. Venom wasn't good.
And then, spoiler alert, I guess, for the trailer. The Vulture was in the trailer that I saw last.
Oh, yeah.
And it even in the trailer says, the latest new Marvel legend connected to Marvel films. You all love Marvel. This is one of them.
Yeah. Bloody hell.
I love that. The problem is I like the character of Morbius. I like his leather jacket from the animated series and in being a vampire. Hands. And I like the link that it might get to Blade. Apparently, I didn't know this until like this week or whatever. I think it was on another podcast that apparently there is a Michael Morbius cameo in one of the Blade films that was cut. Really? It was meant to be in there, and then they didn't.
No way.
They didn't do it in the end.
Who was playing him?
I didn't know. I didn't think it was an actor. It was just like a
Jared Leto again.
Just like some extra, like in a bit with him. Like, who's that over there? Far, you can't make out who it is. It's far off. But who's that?
That vampire man? It's Morbius, isn't it?
Oh, he's a living vampire. Yeah, I like the character, but I'm gonna
living vampire.
That's what Morbius is. He's the living vampire because he's not a dead vampire. He's still alive.
Blade's a daywalker, isn't he?
But then all vampires are alive, technically, aren't they? I mean, I guess their heart's not.
They're unalive.
They're unalive, and they're all technically dead. But
But Michael Morbius isn't. He hasn't. At least in some of these things, he hasn't got like. He wasn't bitten by like a Dracula. He's got a
radioactive Dracula.
Yeah, he's got
Dracula.
He's got a science disease that's giving Dracula powers.
Thanks for that segue. Because also horror news. There's a picture of Nicolas Cage as Dracula on the New Orleans set of the movie Renfield. Have you guys seen this? I think it only came out today. He's in what looks like a red velour suit with a big. I think
that's just him
medallion.
Going to Tesco. That's just what he wears.
Yeah, and he's positive. He's pale. He's got black hair, and he's definitely got fangs as well. It looks very Christopher Lee. Very Christopher Lee.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'd be up for a Nicolas Cage Dracula.
Yeah,
I mean, he already did
Kiss of the Vampire, Tears of the Vampire, something of the Vampire.
Yeah, he already did that. But I don't
think
he's a real vampire.
He's been there. He's done it.
I can't remember.
No. Was he a real vampire? He was a method actor. He got bitten, became a vampire, and he's been living as one ever since. That wouldn't surprise me if that piece of news came.
The living vampire, Nicolas Cage.
He's bloody living.
The livid vampire. I'm so angry.
Oh, the sun's out again! Fucking hell!
Every day.
At least they're in Nottingham where it's dying.
Get yourself to Nottingham. You can live there. Other news, there's a new trailer today, a full trailer for the movie Men, directed by Alex Garland, who directed Ex Machina and Annihilation. We saw like a teaser trailer a little while ago, didn't we? Which is very, very ominous. But now we get like plot stuff and interesting stuff. And it looks like, so it stars Jesse Buckley and Rory Kinnear playing every other male character in this movie. Who knows what that means? Does it mean all men are the same? Does it mean all men are Rory Kinnear? Deep down.
Is it really him playing all of them? I thought I was just going mad and saying, cast a load of really similar looking blokes for this movie.
Yeah, because there's like a little kid. There's a little kid with Rory Kinnear's face. Rory Kinnear is in James Bond. He's in Black Mirror as the Prime Minister. He bloody has sex with a pig, doesn't he? Which definitely didn't ever happen in real life or anything close to that.
Rory Kinnear didn't. I don't think he did. Oh, you mean the real president? Prime Minister.
Hey, you're talking about the real president here. Oh my God. Yeah, the real Prime Minister David Cameron allegedly didn't he get sucked off by it? You can't get sucked off by a dead pig.
Yeah, it's come on now, everyone. Let's not besmirch the former Prime Minister. It was a dead pig.
Undead pig.
Come on, pig. Come on, pig. He did. He did that. Came on a pig. That's one of those things where you're like, if that happened, if it just happened in front of you, it would be like the second that guy becomes prime minister, this is coming out. Not years after he's been prime minister. That news is going to leak immediately. Do you remember that time that he put his dick in a dead pig's mouth? Do you remember that? No, that doesn't sound believable.
That sounds like it's made up, and then the rest of the world went, you just wait for what the next few years has got in store. This is going to seem absolutely normal.
That was the beginning of the madness. So now we got a film called Men. After the initial trailer and the title was revealed, I was like, I have absolutely no idea what it was going to be, and I didn't kind of think that. They've called it a shape-shifting new horror movie in like promotion. So I don't know, but even though every man in the trailer is Rory Kinnear, Jesse Buckley's character doesn't seem to be like, you're the same bloke. It's you again.
He's got different haircuts. He probably just thinks if she went, oh, you bum men look the same, she'd go, oh, really? Showing your prejudice, are you?
She's the kind of person.
Not all, hashtag not all men is what they'll say.
She falls for the Clark Kent taking off his glasses. Hang on a minute. Yeah. Clark Kent was here just now. Where are you? Well, I'm Superman. Right.
I'm Rory Kinnear.
Oh. I'm Rory Kinnear, but I've moved my hair this way now instead of that way. Oh yeah, I fell for that.
I mean, just to be very clear, everyone listening, that we at Horror Hangout appreciate that lots of men are different. There's, as this trailer shows, there's church men, there's posh men, there's pub men, all kinds of men. It takes
there's a kid, there's young men. There's a kid with Roy Kinnear's face in this.
Yeah, I'm up for this though. It looks weird.
I haven't seen that trailer before. I had it. It sounds different to the one they had at the cinema.
Did you have it at the cinema?
Yeah, we had one at the cinema.
Just the tunnel one.
Yeah, it was Jesse Buckley making a noise.
Oh yeah, so it wasn't the Roy Kinnear is everyone.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
that sounds
interesting to see what comes of this.
Yeah.
It comes out on May the 20th, so I'm sure we'll cover it on podcast.
Yeah.
3 men covering a film called Men.
Oh dear me.
Or what?
We're gonna have to see if we can get a woman or two to come and join us for that one, just so it's not too much men.
Well, Lucy, who joined us for the Orphan episode, she's been all over this movie on Twitter, so fire a little invite out.
Yeah, see if Lucy's around, see if she wants to come and talk about some men.
Talk about some men.
Just when you think men couldn't get any blooming worse, right? Sometimes some of them might be a ghost. We'll find out.
All of us should have like a Rory Kinnear face mask on.
see if they put a filter out to make you look like him.
I wonder if you could buy one anywhere. eBay, Rory Kinnear face mask. No one has ever Googled that in the history of the world.
So we've got a couple of weeks.
They can make a filter. Let's do it. Luke, you probably do that.
Yeah. Give it a go.
Yeah.
Why not?
Give it a go.
We'll go through his back catalogue and we'll get his voices down so we can all be in.
The only other random piece of news I saw is Ben Stiller is in talks to play Jack Torrance in the Shining stage adaptation.
I can see that. I mean, if you you've seen Mystery Men. He plays
Mystery Men.
He plays an angry man, doesn't he?
Like Captain Rage or something.
Yeah.
And he starts. Yeah, he has like a stress ball. If you imagine Jack Torrance with a stress ball, and he loses the stress ball, and that's what sends him over the edge. Yeah, it could work. I actually think Ben Stiller's great generally. I saw him do an impression of John McClane in Die Hard, and it was spot on.
Yeah. Oh wow! Maybe he'll play the whole thing as Zoolander.
Yeah.
Like him as that security guard at the
School
museum.
For ants. Oh yeah, that's good. That bloody security guard at the museum. I mean, that's as straight as Ben Stiller's ever played it, right? He's just a dude.
He's just so put upon. Dick Van Dyke's there, tap dancing about the place.
He's a pretty straight guy in Cable. Well, he directed Cable Guy. He's not in Cable Guy, is he? Is he? Who's the main guy in Cable Guy?
Jim Carrey you're thinking of there?
It's not Jim Carrey.
Who is the guy in Cable Guy?
Inspector Gadget.
It's what's his name? Matthew Broderick. That's right.
That's Inspector Gadget as we know him.
Hey, Inspector Gadget. Matthew Broderick. Oh, great guys.
Nick Totopoulos himself.
Yeah. The only other piece of news I've got, I guess, is podcast. Let's just talk about this. It's podcast related. I got a message this week on Facebook regarding our recent discussions for Horror Hangout bonus ode Klaxon. So Taj Easton, who a listener of the show, sent us a little hey man, sent us a lovely little audio clip which he's put together for a Horror Hangout bonus ode Klaxon. It's kind of like a bonus ode Klaxon, also like, I don't know, some sort of intro to madness, some sort of descent into madness.
Sort of sweet dance mix.
Yeah, sweet dance mix. So shall I play it and then we can discuss?
Please do.
Okay, here we go. We were thinking about making an official bonus ode Klaxon. All three of us like wail like a banshee, and then we mix them all together. This is Mr. Ben Errington with an E.
Luke Kondo.
Andy Conjurant.
That's me.
That's my thing too, that isn't it?
That's my thing too. I write the thing too and sing the thing too. That's my thing too.
You let me go on for that
you
long.
Let me go on.
Like
you
a
let
buffoon.
Me go on like that.
That's my thing too. I don't know. You sound like an evil guy's right-hand goon. That's my thing too.
That's my thing too. That's my bloody thing too. I don't remember saying that. I don't know if it was in a really recent
what is
episode.
that from?
I don't know. I don't like the last few seconds of it where it feels like I'm just talking over you. You're delivering some real serious, great content, and I'm just going no. God damn it! If I do that, please feel free to shut me up. Thank you, Taj. That was very fun. We might use that in some instance. I think we do need to work out a klaxon of all three of our voices together, mixed, that we can use for bonus shows. Like that.
So, Skype, Zoom kind of cuts you off when you do that. Have you noticed that?
Oh, does it?
It noise cancels, yeah.
It just goes, that's a fucking hell. Turn on.
That's a big old scream. Stop that. No one wants that.
So when you're in a Zoom meeting, you can't just go, boring. No,
something I think you can do that, because there's like gaps in it. If it's like one long thing.
If you chant boring, that's fine. But if you were to be murdered while on a Zoom call, it makes sure that your colleagues aren't disturbed.
Yeah, puts you on mute.
Puts you on mute. It goes, come on, guys, tone it down. Yeah, that's fun.
That was very good, by the way. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, thank you, Taj. And then,
that's my
send in your klaxons and weird mixes of things we don't remember saying.
Yeah, exactly. What I did like was us saying our names. That was quite handy. I feel like we should use that instead of actually needing to say our names. Give ourselves a bit of a break.
Get it on the soundboard.
Yeah,
We need a little soundboard. That'd be cool.
Let's get a soundboard going because let's do it. What could we have on the soundboard?
That you saying that? That's my
you saying you saying that, you saying what we're gonna have on the soundboard.
Me saying
maybe
B minus.
Luke saying B minus.
Luke saying B minus. Me saying people are poorly. All you need.
And he's saying we need mun.
Yeah.
We need each section of the podcast needs like a little jingle / intro. So let's. If anyone wants to send one in, do it. If not, we'll create it.
Just the great chill sting over and over again.
What we've been watching, something like that. What else? Horror news. Yeah, just loads of different things.
You've done them all. You've said them now, Ben. That's just.
I think
just clip this audio.
All of our voices saying the same thing at the same time, just perfectly mixed, until one of the hosts gets cancelled and we have to remove their individual voice from each clip.
Yeah,
who's getting cancelled first?
Well, someone like Taj, who's looking at these things, will go back to an old episode and be like, they'll find out in like episode 2 or something. Ben's like, you know what type of people I just don't like? That'll come up and resurface.
I'm pretty sure we've all said something questionable. It could be that we've not meant it in a questionable way, but out of context, it definitely could be.
Yeah, it could be that you just cut. We've said almost every word available now. You could cut together as saying anything if you wanted to.
Yeah. And I want to hear it. That's what we want to hear on this show.
Out there.
Send it to us. Us saying
cancelable
stuff. Yeah. Has anybody seen anything this week? Played anything?
We mentioned it just before the podcast. I think 2 of us saw Turning Red. Actually, you fell asleep, didn't you, Luke? Did you turn red?
You're cancelled, Luke. You don't like this new Disney Pixar movie? How could you?
What's your problem? Why'd you hate it so much? You fell asleep.
Is it the periods? No,
Is it the periods? Is it because you don't get a period? Hey?
Oh man,
is that right?
You'll be on the trailer. There'll be you in it next week. Holy condoms.
Until Alex Garland gets hold of you. He's going to send 19 Rory Kinnears round to your house.
Absolutely duff you up. You're going to get panned, mate.
All children Rory Kinnears.
You'll be turning red.
Kick you in the shin.
Ours.
I beg your pardon.
From it getting kicked over and over again, not from anything.
You'll be squealing like a pig. Rory Kinnear coming into you. Anyway.
No need to go back to get us all cancelled, guys. This is done.
Started to watch Turning Red, and then I fell asleep very, 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 very quickly. I don't think it even counts as me watching it. It was nothing to do with the periods. I didn't even get to the period stuff. I was looking forward to getting to the period stuff.
You fell asleep at the non-period stuff.
You're just sitting there going, I'm looking forward to having an open and really receptive view of this controversial topic in this film, allegedly. Fell asleep, couldn't even do it.
Bloody fell asleep, you bastard.
Hey, got a lot on. I fell asleep. What do you want from me? Ben's turning red right now.
That's just my natural skin tone, I think, especially when I've got a fairly red
I think it's your t-shirt, yeah.
And I was laughing a lot as well. Does anyone get like the back of their head start to ache when they laugh a lot?
Yeah.
My cheeks hurt, and like my jaw around like the sides hurts. It's like when I eat like something really sweet.
Oh yeah.
It like tenses up there for some reason.
Painful.
It's like toffee's too chewy.
Your face.
Yeah.
But Turning Red, I enjoyed it. What was the last Pixar movie before this? Did I see that?
Soul.
I like
Encanto
Soul.
wasn't a Pixar film, was it? I'm a bit out of the loop with Pixar films, and I've always said I was a huge Pixar fan.
No, I think Encanto was straight up Disney, right?
Straight up Disney.
Straight up
ready
Disney.
sold Disney.
Pixar, can I do a little bit? Get out of it, you twat. So Encanto enjoyed. Turning Red I enjoyed as well. It is good. It's kind of like an interesting take on a subject, which I guess in children's cinema, but it was good. It was like really over the top, and it sort of paints a Asian family in a very interesting light as well.
Right.
I think it does a lot of the classic in a way, there's a lot of like classic tropes in terms of the subject matter, but still, it was good. And there's some good kaiju stuff. That's not a spoiler.
Oh, interesting.
There's
not
some
a spoiler.
kaiju stuff.
Yeah.
So, out of the Pixar films, I'd be interested to know what your favorites is. This up there with your top Pixar films?
Wally's probably the best one, isn't it?
I won't say it's the best one, but like the first half an hour is excellent.
Okay.
All the silent stuff.
Oh, shut up then.
After that, absolute shit.
After that, I don't. There's a few I haven't seen now. I don't think I've ever seen Up.
Up's up there.
I've not seen Luca. Was that last year?
Not seen that. Not seen.
I've not seen that one.
Not seen the new one with the cars.
Onward was pretty good.
Onward
I like that.
Good, yeah.
Onward was good. I don't know if I've seen Cars either. And there is a Buzz Lightyear movie, which I don't know if that's Pixar as well. That's coming out this year. So yeah, they're doing all right, Pixar, aren't they? They're doing all right.
Knocking them out, aren't they?
Churning them out, knocking them out. Yeah, they love it. They're all over it. Apart from that, I didn't think I really saw. I started Attack on Titan for the first time. Did I say that last week? Maybe.
You said you were going to. How is it?
I'm about 7 episodes in. I really like it. Yeah, it's good. It's awesome. Goes in some like unexpected directions. I think every episode I'm like, how could this happen? No way.
You let this happen.
That can't happen. Can't believe it. And because my partner Charlie's already seen it, I'm asking her questions. I'm that guy going, surely this can't be happening, can it? That's impossible.
Oh, you're that infuriating person that I say infuriating person. That's me if I'm ever watching a soap near one of my relatives that watches a soap. Or Karen's mum and dad. They love a bit of Emmerdale. I'm like, who's that then? Thought he was dead.
Who's that then? I thought he dead when the pub blew up.
No.
Is there a video game of Attack on Titan?
Yeah, probably.
Probably, yeah.
I feel like it would be a great like open world game.
How you? I mean, 7 episodes in, I don't remember. I mean, but I do remember the Titan attack stuff. The bits in Attack on Titan where the Titans attack on things were all really excellent. Like the death scenes were all super gruesome.
They're all really like the death scenes are like properly unexpected all the time. There's characters where you're like, this character's pretty cool. Oh, they've been eaten.
Chomped. Yeah.
What about that
There's
character?
like something terrifying about the really dumb, like giant Titans that just look like, I don't know, they look like insane, mindless, kind of zombie-ish in a way. The way they run towards people. Yeah, it's quite scary.
Very zombie-ish. I wouldn't want to get mixed up with any of these Titans. And what they called the abnormal Titans as well. Like some of them that are like on all fours.
Yeah, that's where it kind of loses me a little bit when it gets a bit too Power Rangers. I kind of prefer it when it's like just an unnatural thing.
Big,
but yeah,
dangling, freaky beast.
You've invoked Power Rangers, Luke. I saw a great comic mashup, which I'm, more excited for, I'd say, than Kong Godzilla in terms of more conflicted as to who's going to win. There is a Power Rangers Godzilla crossover comic coming up now, and they revealed the first cover for it, which is Godzilla fighting the Dragon Zord, and I was like,
find the Dragon Zord.
I was like, that is.
I think Godzilla's going to win that one, only because Dragon Zord can like level up after that and come back stronger. That feels like the way it's going to go.
It's lyrics, isn't it?
Yeah, Eminem.
Eminem said that, didn't he? Yeah. Wow.
You seen anything else, Ben?
I don't think I have. I'm about to say. Oh wait, I watched. Okay, so the next installment on my movie nights with a couple of friends of mine. I went to my friend's house last week, and he put on a film called The Last Dragon. Now, he seems to think of it's like a staple mark of his of growing up, a famous film from the 80s. I've never heard of it. It is basically about a guy who wants to be Bruce Lee. He's a black guy, and his name is Leroy, and he calls himself Bruce Leroy. So It is like a kung fu movie from 1985, probably one of the most 80s movies I've ever seen, directed by Michael Schultz. But I'd never heard of it. And he was like, have you never heard of this? This is like I loved this film growing up. And it was really fun. Very, very silly. And it kind of feels like Big Trouble in Little China in a way. But it's like a kung fu movie set in New York. And it was It was fun. It was really fun. Very 80s, very
I've
slow-mo.
also never heard of it, but like I now need to look it up.
Yeah,
Although I feel I've
it
now
looks
imagined
mental.
too hard.
Yeah.
I've now imagined too hard the most 80s movie. Are they going to be leg warmers? Is he going to be fighting Teddy Ruxpins? What
There
other
are leg
80s
warmers.
things?
There's like a woman who's basically oh god. What's 80s pop star woman called?
Sonia.
Close. Yeah, let's just say Sonia.
Kylie Minogue.
No, what am I thinking of? No, Toya. I'm going to say she looks like Toya Wilcox. Okay. Looks a bit like Toya Wilcox, but now we've decided our regular movie nights are going to be 80s classics. Or we're trying to find 80s movies that we've seen that the other two of my friends haven't seen. And whoever hosts tends to find the film. So I think the first time I did it, I did The Raid, but now we're going to go and do some 80s movies.
What film are you going to go with? Do you know yet?
I don't know. I'll tell you what film I do like. Not so much 80s, but I would like to throw it out into the mainstream again. Oh wait, it is 80s, 89. Black Rain with Michael Douglas, directed by Ridley Scott. It is absolutely badass, and it is like super 80s. It's basically Michael Douglas goes to a Yakuza member gets arrested and gets extradited to Japan, and so it's like two cops, a New York cop and a Japanese cop team up in like this sort of like neon soaked synthwave world. I only saw it for the first time.
Never heard of that before.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I saw it for the first time like maybe 2 years ago, and I was like just in love with it. The soundtrack is delightful.
Then it just struck me, if your friends haven't seen it yet, 80s movie that I think is the greatest gift of all to see someone watch for the first time. Whack Sleepaway Camp on.
Yeah, whack it on. We've had this discussion because obviously a lot of my references are horror, but they're not. Both of them aren't big into horror. But I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I can.
I'll put Sleepaway Camp on for them and just sit there, just sit there watching their faces.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna make a list of movies to possibly introduce, because I think it's great introducing people to. And I'm not the kind of guy, when you introduce a movie to somebody and they just like aren't fully interested or something.
Yeah.
I'm not the kind of guy who's like,
you just don't get it.
Yeah, or they go out to the toilet and I go, shall I pause it? And they go, nah, sorry.
Oh,
for God's sake! Yeah, that's it. What about you guys?
What about you, Luke?
Well, I did actually see something. So there's a film coming out soon called Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's directed by the Daniels, so the guys who made Swiss Army Men, which is one of my favorite films.
This is an A24 movie as well, right?
It is, yeah. And like Everything Everywhere All at Once, they got a 10 on IGN. 10 out of 10, that is. And it looks amazing. Like it really is getting me excited to. I have no idea what it's going to be about. Something to do with multiverse. But I noticed that one of the Daniels, because the directors, there's two Daniels, Daniel Shalbert and Daniel Kwan, I think the names are. And one of the Daniels had made another A24 film called The Death of Dick Long. And I thought, okay, that sounds interesting. Let's watch that.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near as silly or as high budget as Swiss Army Man or Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's kind of like Fargo kind of vibe.
Oh, great.
No, but nowhere near as like crime heavy. So the setup is there's a guy who's in a band. Well, there's three guys in a band, and they play like new metal songs, but they're really bad. It starts off with them playing that Stained. It's been a while. That song. Is that Stained? I think it is.
Yeah.
And then they get really high and really drunk, and it cuts to later on that night, and they have to drop this guy called Dick Long, who's played by the director, off at the hospital. He's like bleeding from his stomach, and they take his wallet. And so they don't know what to do. They panic. They drop him in the hospital, and then they leave, and he dies. And then they're trying to cover up this crime in the most ridiculous way. And at the same time, we have no idea what happened. And it slowly kind of comes out what's happened. And it is bizarre. And I wouldn't want to spoil it for anyone. But it's like, it's not like they did. I mean, they did kind of do something really bad, but they didn't kill him or anything. But it's the most, yeah, they did a bad thing. And I've never seen anyone try to make a protagonist out of someone who's been involved in that before.
Okay.
And that kind of question of what exactly is kind of pulls you through the story. But yeah, really silly. And it's like a Fargo, like a dumbass. They're absolute idiots. Fargo vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Into it. Sounds good.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, from Dick Long.
I could go back to previous episodes. What was the name of that movie as well? You saw the TV. Was it Japanese?
Beyond the Infinite 2 Minutes.
Yeah.
I need to check
Still
that out.
Still got that on my list.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Lots to do.
For
me, just real quick, just watched a couple of Mun movies. I've been to see The Batman now, so I've caught up on that.
Oh yeah.
Batman's real good, isn't it? It's good. Yeah, it does that. Good music, good Batmans, good Batman fighting. Looking forward to more of this Batman. Very good. And I also saw The Kingsman.
It's
on Disney Plus now, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus, which is good because at the time wasn't really going to go to the cinema to catch it, so it's a shame. But it's all right, you know.
I was pretty sold by the Rasputin. He looks a lot like Alan Moore doing a kind of dance fight thing. I thought that looked really fun.
Yeah, there's some fun action in it. Yeah, he's the he's Rasputin in that. There's some interesting bits in it. I like what they do with the characters.
I've heard.
I'm not going to spoil it. There is the end credit scene is an insane choice.
Oh no, okay. I've heard about this. I think I saw it on Twitter.
I'll tell you what,
I've heard it.
Skip forward 30 seconds.
Well, let's not say the person. Let's just say a famous person from history is introduced in the same manner as like a
Thanos,
like a Marvel, like a Marvel post-credit sequence.
If you're thinking right now, surely it can't be. That's exactly who it is.
Yeah.
No, I like Winston Churchill, maybe.
All right, a famous
baddie.
A famous baddie. I was going to say a famous baddie is introduced like you expect everyone to go, "Oh my god!"
Hitler.
But in truth, Hitler. Say no more. Say no more. Could be.
It's Hitler.
It's bloody Hitler, isn't it? Very, very, very silly. I see. I've heard mixed things. I've heard some people say it's all right, and other people say it's absolutely borderline unwatchable. So I don't know.
No, I think it's better than the second one.
Okay.
I don't think I saw that one.
I don't remember the second one. I remember Elton John in the second one.
Oh, he was pretty good in the second one, wasn't he? Yeah.
The thing I remember being the worst bit is memory. Oh dear.
Yeah. It's all right. It's fine. But yeah, other than that, less films this week than last, because obviously we haven't got an entire festival to cover. So than that, I've been rewatching some animated Justice League because a little bit of Justice League. But other than that, just the film of the week.
You say that, Andy, and yet you still haven't watched the Snyder Cut.
Well, I'm making sure I've seen all the Justice League, so I can truly. I don't want to go in and not enjoy Justice League, the Snyder Cut, and people go, Andy, you just didn't like Justice League enough. So I'm watching all other Justice League in the build up to it.
Yeah.
And you're tweeting along as well, aren't you?
Tweeting along as I watch an episode. The good thing about the Justice League things is 20 minutes an episode, isn't it? It's a lot less than 3.5 hours.
I love that. Attack on Titan's like 20, 25 minutes.
The Batman was 3 hours. You're nearly all the way there with the Batman. Yeah. Did you not find the Batman a bit long?
I was okay. I was at the cinema. I was like, yeah, it's a long time, so I had to be very choiceful as to when I would go and see it.
Yeah.
Because that's
Did you go
that's
to the
difficult.
toilet at all?
Nah.
Oh, so you just did it in the seat?
No, just tanked it.
Catheter.
Tanked it.
I think with a long film, you feel like you're getting your money's worth from the cinema, don't you? Like, how much is I paid $5 to watch a 3-hour movie?
Got a little bag of poppets to enjoy them. That's good.
Poppets. Yeah. God, that's a blast from the past.
Toffee poppets. Lovely it was.
That's just good. It's just good value for money. If you want to go bowling like for an hour, for 3 of you, that's like 50 quid. £5 for 3 hours of entertainment. Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. It was good. Wow. Yeah, I enjoyed the Batman. I get it. It's a big commitment, is 3 hours, but I'm at the cinema, so I'm sat down. I'm not on my phone. I can sit and enjoy that.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, X.
So film of the week is X. brand new release. Nice.
Why is it called
trip.
X?
One of the characters refers to the main character as having the X factor a lot.
Oh yeah,
I noticed.
Simon Cowell.
X-rated. Simon bloody
X-rated.
Cowell was in it.
I was like XD Generation X maybe. X
Suck
Park.
it.
I bet they're referring to X Park.
X Pac.
Yeah, bloody X-Pac in this.
The old lady.
Bronco
is,
Buster.
The old lady is X. She goes out and then she's like, there's a scene that's deleted where she's got DMX on, saying about how she X is on the way to give it to those people.
Do you know who? Obviously, this will be a mild spoiler, I guess. But do you know who plays the old lady as well? Do we know?
Mia Goth.
Is it? Yeah, it's also the
We
main.
do know that. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of pictured it at one point, but
I didn't know, and I wasn't aware. And I think I kind of worked it out after a while, because one thing we cannot do in horror movies, horror TV shows, anything, old person makeup is never, ever 100% believable. I always double ask someone made up to look old, and that automatically means to me that the character is either going to turn young, which
I thought that.
which happened in a particular Mike Flanagan series recently, where as soon as I saw an old character, I was like, that is just a young person with a couple of wrinkles drawn on. All right.
Just penciled on.
Penciled on. I'll do. Okay.
Here's how I knew it was Mia Goth. I was like, well, that old lady, she's got the X factor. Oh, it's there.
Oh my god.
And then she puts the same blue eyeshadow on and be like, dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Dead giveaway. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Oh. And she got a cluster of freckles as well? No. She's too old.
Don't know. Liver spots.
Liver spots. Okay, so X is a 2022 American slasher film written, directed, produced, and edited by Ty West. The plot follows a cast and crew who gather to make a pornographic film on an old couple's rural Texas property. And the next bit's kind of a spoiler. So,
okay.
But then
that's interesting.
They put that in the synopsis, and the next bit's kind of a spoiler.
The next bit's kind of a spoiler. So, if you don't want to know, you don't want to know.
Yeah.
So who's in this? We got Mia Goth, Jenna Ortega, straight off the back of Scream, Martin Henderson, who is in lots of stuff, but I remember him from Torque, which is kind of like Fast and the Furious with motorbikes. Brittany Snow. Brittany Snow plays a porn star in this, and her actress name is more of a porn star name than her character name in this. Brittany Snow. And I think she's called.
I always think of her. I was actually amazed when I was like, hang on a sec, that's her from Pitch Perfect. How is someone who's in Pitch Perfect a porn star in this? And not just like playing a porn star, but at times, I mean, it's a softcore porn film. Like everyone was like blushing in the cinema. Like, oh, this is just softcore porn. Or what?
Where'd you look? Where do you look? I tend to just stare at the nearest person to me.
Don't do that.
Just make sure I've got my notebook. Just make sure I've got my notebook out and just allowed it. Yeah, I'm just writing this down for a podcast. Yeah, fine.
I just like get rid of the awkwardness. I always turn to Charlie and cover her eyes as if she's not allowed to see it. Like, no,
I'll tell you when you can look.
Don't look at that. Which is an ongoing joke, which I'm sure she hates.
One thing, Ben, I need to check though. You mentioned that Brittany Snow, that's more of a porn star name than the character's name. How do you know what porn stars' names are?
Yeah, Ben. Yes.
What?
How would you know the name of porn actors?
Don't out me like that.
Benjamin Errington.
Benjamin Errington. Because I'm a supporter of sex work.
Did you say supporter?
Positive. Yeah, I'll have a dabble. I'm not going to shame anybody, and you can't shame me. All right.
As long as you're paying for it, Ben, and not watching it on any of those websites that give it to you for free, then that's morally fine, I guess.
Yeah. No comment.
So
come on, it's 2022. We're all sex positive, okay? It's healthy. Let's do it right now. Maybe we'll I think we did discuss reviewing actual. I think I did mention at one point we should do a episode where we talk about like horror themed porno.
Yeah, join us for our next bonus-ode.
Join us for our next bonus-ode.
A real bonus-ode.
Where we give several porn parodies B minuses.
What's the porno Dracula called?
Ejacula. Oh yeah, Ejacula. Found it when I was looking for a picture from a background today. Ejacula.
I feel like it would
Wankenstein.
Ejacula Wankenstein. What else is there? Creature from the Black Lagoon. I guess
Crack
a French
Lagoon.
porno. Yeah.
Creature from the Crack Lagoon.
Wow.
Creature
Okay,
from
let's
the
have
Crack Lapoon.
Yeah.
Crack Lapoon.
Lapoon.
Creature from the Crack Lapoon. We've got Evil Head.
Evil
Yeah.
Head. Yeah.
Oh,
We've got This Isn't Scary Movie. Yeah.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
one.
Oh,
these
The
real ones?
Conjuring. There's one.
that's a good
The
one.
Conjuring.
Are these real
Fuckenstein.
ones?
These are all real ones.
Oh, okay.
Fuckenstein. I feel like that's just...
Fuckenstein. Come on.
Come on. Back to the drawing board with that. Oh, here we go. Repenetrator.
Repenetrator.
Okay.
The Triple Exorcist.
The Return of Xander
Triple X is
Cage.
good. I like
It's
Triple
just,
X.
it's just got the poster for Cannibal Holocaust on it as well. Who's put this list together? The Commoning. What's that?
Coming, yeah.
Like the summoning, but oh wait, here we go. A little move. Just laughing at the poster. I mean, does this even work as a word? Gay-racula.
Gay-racula. No, ejacular or
doesn't-
bust, sorry.
It doesn't work, does it? Gay-racula. But there we go.
Beetlejuice, no change required.
Little jizz. What else? That's kind of it. I mean, to be fair, scrolling here on Google, it's pretty difficult to work out which ones are porn parodies and which ones are actual horror movies, low budget or not. You know, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
But that could be a fun episode.
Wet Dream on Elm Street.
Have you found that, or did you just make it up?
No, just made it up. I bet it exists.
Yeah, someone
Hala-
said one on Elm Street. Yeah.
No.
Jason Triple X instead of
Jason Triple X. Oh my God, there's a Twilight porn parody. Jesus.
What's it called?
This is
50 Shades of Grey.
Oh yeah, God. Oh no. A Nightmare on Porn Street is another one as well.
Yeah,
Hang on a minute,
pretty
that's a
lazy.
book. Jesus. Okay. So what we're saying is porno
next bonus episode, I
horror
guess.
spoofs bonus episode. I don't mean we should go away and watch them all and then come back
Rate
and give
them.
them all.
Yeah,
and rate
yeah,
them.
I had a cracking one on
I
that
mean, to be fair, I had a cracker one on that when my eyes rolled back into my head. But, but maybe
Jesus.
just talk about the titles of them and-
Cancelled. Get them all cancelled.
Oh, I can't be cancelled for having a wank, can you?
The Erotic Witch Project. Here we go.
Cancelled.
And Andy's still going.
Still going.
What Andy's done though is he's just opened all the tabs he had closed before. He's not even Googled it. He's just gone, hang on a minute.
I've just pulled up my specific watch list, of course.
Yeah. So I've got some reviews here as well for the film X, not Ejacular or Frankenstein. or
There's only so many 5-star reviews you can read.
Rotten Tomatoes critic score have given it a whopping 96%. A fresh spin on the classic slasher formula. X marks the spot, where Ty West gets resoundingly back to his horror roots. Audience score slightly less, so 76%. It's got 7.4 out of 10 on IMDb, and Letterboxd is at 3.8 out of 5. Alexandra Metler said, "This was so good, a real movie. 5 stars. Don't exactly know what that means." But then Jorge said, "What a piece of shit, 1/2 star." So, I mean, to be fair, a lot of the negative reviews were kind of, I mean, sometimes you go to the negative reviews and you see a couple of points and they're like, yeah, I guess I can see what they're coming from or what they're getting at, even if they're kind of being a little bit harsh with it. But there wasn't really any good critiques that I saw.
When your negative review is just don't like it,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Don't bloody like it. It wasn't bloody good enough. Have you guys seen Ty West's other movies?
House of the Devil.
Yeah, I've seen The House of the Devil. Very
Like a throwback.
good.
Uh,
Proper throwback retro nostalgia trip. It kind of like the aesthetic of it is very like 70s
yeah.
horror, and I guess a lot of that is present here. I know it's set in the 70s, this movie, but there's a lot of stuff, including the opening shot, which obviously makes it look like it's going to be presented in a certain aspect ratio, and then it just
Yeah, that was really
doorway.
nice. Yeah.
that was good. I like that.
Which bit of VHS is Ty West's?
I don't know.
Good question. Good question. I'm not sure. Second
Google.
Honeymoon.
Oh, that
know
wasn't,
what
to be
one that
fair. I know which one that is. and it's not the best out of the lot, to be honest.
I've not seen anything. I've not seen the Innkeepers. I've not seen the Sacrament.
Sacrament. I think we talked about it like last week or something. It's that Jim Jones style one.
Yeah, found footage.
Yeah,
he did direct. Oh, we did direct Cabin Fever 2, mind, the same year as The House of the Devil. That's interesting, isn't it? But yeah, I did enjoy this. I don't know if you guys did as well. I thought it was good. It may have been missing a certain something. I can't quite put my finger on what it was. Like, it was well made. I enjoyed pretty much every element of it, but I just felt like there was just one little element somewhere, a certain little something.
Je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi that was kind of missing, and I don't know what it was. I can't quite put my finger on it. That might sound like lazy critiquing in a la Letterboxd reviews. But
we got at least another hour. You can get your point across. You're fine.
There was a little summit missing. I didn't know whether I wanted a reveal. I wanted maybe something different at play in terms of the source of the horror.
You wanted a Dracula.
I don't know. I felt like a lot of these characters were very, very interesting. It felt like everything was kind of laid out on the table there. I felt like there should have been a secret. I mean, I guess there's a secret in
Are you saying
sort of sense.
What it needed was a raining blood moment, which is the moment in like the Evil Dead movie where you feel like you've got sussed it all out, and then something happens and it goes, whoa, this is a whole other thing I wasn't expecting. In this one, you pretty much have it all figured out quite early on, and it doesn't really go that extra. Doesn't go the extra bit, the extra.
Yeah, that's not to say it's not well made. It's got the tension's really good. A lot of the characters are sort of all really, really interesting, and I enjoyed the dynamic between the characters as well and the chemistry. But yeah, I don't know. I expected something because it really does hint at something, especially this relationship between Maxine and a character called Pearl. There's a little bit of a weird connection there, and like, are we genuinely supposed to believe the only reason that this connection is there is nothing supernatural or anything like that? It's just because Pearl's dead horny.
Yeah, I don't think there's any supernatural elements at all. And I was kind of expecting there to be something there. There's a really good little moment between Pearl and what's her name, Maxine, where Pearl like touches her back, and then Pearl says, "Don't tell my husband; it'll be our little secret." And then Maxine says, "What will?" Like, she has no idea what has passed between the two of them.
He really is protective of that lemonade. It's just no one drink this lemonade. It's my favorite. She's given her a whole glass. She gulped it all down, didn't she?
Did you love the way some of the scenes were kind of like the cuts between the scenes were like staggered?
Yeah, because I mean, it was pretty good. And I liked how there's an element of meta-ness to it, because the director of the porn film said he was going to do something similar in the edit to give it a real arty vibe.
Get a real arty vibe, and then a bit later on when he's like, you can't just change the entire tone of the movie about halfway through. That's not the type of movie I'm making.
Yeah.
I see you, Ty. I mean, I guess up top, if you're unfamiliar with the show already, weird place to start, I guess. But we will go through and do full spoilers of this. So if you haven't watched it yet, you intend to, it's a new movie. Sometimes talk about movies that are 20 years old. Today is not one of those days. Go see it first if you don't want to be spoiled.
Yeah. Don't come at us for spoilers, eh?
Oh, I don't believe you spoiled it, and I listened to an hour-long discussion, beat by beat, and you've spoiled it. Yeah, it's going to happen. You go in prepared.
Yeah.
Yes. So, where should we start?
Well,
where does it start?
It starts in it's like a burlesque and cocktail bar sort of thing, and Maxine's about to go on.
That's where we start originally, but we get a Texas Chainsaw first, don't we? Where we get
of course.
We get like the day after the events that have happened, and I really liked this touch. Again, this is your director from the film within the film that talks at this earlier, the way that it's cut between. So we begin with like a scene of the sheriff and his deputies going around the property, and we see a couple of key landmarks, and we see a number of bodies, all very well covered up in like sheets and everything. So as you go through the movie and the action will unfold later on, you'll see where clearly people are going to be killed, but you have no indication as to who or how at this point.
Yeah.
It's a nice way to kind of set up the scene for what is to come. I guess it's a very smart move, bearing in mind that no moiders actually happen until a little way into the film at first.
I think if they didn't have that, people would be like, is this a horror movie or what? Or is this actually just a porn?
People are just watching a softcore porno, yeah.
Behind the scenes of a porno. Yeah, it is. Yeah, and then we're introduced to Maxine first. A really nice close-up of her snorting a line of coke. Just in case you're like, what's going on here then? What's going on? Someone doing a washing?
And spoilers, Maxine loves a bit of cocaine, and there appear to be no adverse effects to her in the film of taking it. She's strong to the last frame. She's had her cocaine. It's Maxine.
Anything. She's the only one who takes cocaine, I think, and she lives through the film. So it's a promotional movie for porn and cocaine.
Oh.
The survivalist properties of cocaine. If you need to be ready to fend off a moiderer, you better be coked out of your mind.
I'm sure it would help, wouldn't it? Make the whole situation all right laugh. And then we're introduced to all of the characters who are essentially the cast and crew of this porn movie, which is going to be called The Farmer's Daughters or Daughters.
I mean, daughters. There's two of them, isn't there?
It's bloody two of them,
might be wrong.
And for some reason, I'm not entirely sure why. I'm sure one of the characters explains. So the producer boyfriend is Wayne, played by Martin Henderson, and he sort of explains that they're going to this house where they're renting this sort of building from an older couple. Does he explain why they're like traveling to do it? It kind of reminds me
some sort of tax or price difference thing. He said I think you just get it super cheap up there.
There's tax breaks, and I think he's also looking for make sure he doesn't bring heat down on the doorstep of where he lives. By if there's any local protests, because it's set in 79, is it?
Yeah,
that it's 1979. Like, not like it is today, where I can imagine you can just rock up and film a porno at your local Westfield shopping centre if you so desire.
Oh wow!
You can. I don't know if you can do that. I don't speak for Westfield shopping centres, but times have been hard in the pandemic. Maybe they would be open to it if you want to pitch it to them.
Shopping centres are available to shoot pornos in.
Yeah, maybe like a Dawn of the Dead style.
Porn of the Dead.
Porn of the Dead.
Oh. That's got to exist.
It writes itself.
Which is why there's less and less excuse for Fuckenstein.
Yeah.
Fuckenstein. That's porn, it. Like someone sat in a room and gone, what rhymes with Frank? That's rude. Fuck!
One of the producers. He doesn't wank in it, does he? He doesn't.
He doesn't wank, does he? No, nor does he. He don't do this. He don't shag Bride as Frankenstein. She's not even in the original. So, who cares? He screws her, all right? That's what we wanted him to say. And Luke's got a face for the pussy right now.
For those of you on the audio who've seen it distracted, what looks like on the video a giant cat, because it's closer to the camera than Luke. It's basically sat in front of him. And Leslie, you do correct me. Is your cat the same size as you? Is it a lion?
He thinks he's the lion.
So who else are in the crew? So we've got there's two adult actors, Bobby Lynn, played by Brittany Snow, and then Jackson Hole, played by Kid Cudi, the rapper. Jackson Hole, is that a good porn star, a male porn star name? I don't know.
No, I don't think it is, because surely he wants the opposite of Hole, like long.
Yeah, he wants
Jackson
like
Long.
Schlong in his name. Jackson Long.
Yeah.
Schlong. The director RJ, played by Owen Campbell, and then his girlfriend Lorraine, who's played by Jenna Ortega. She's like the sound engineer.
Yeah.
Sound engineer. That's not right.
Key grip. She's best boy. She's all those jobs.
She's all of it. Yeah, and
she's the gaffer.
She's got a bit of an attitude where she's a bit like, this is all a bit disgusting, isn't it? And
yes.
the director says, when did you become such a prude? And she's like, oh, no, I'm not. And the rest of the crew call her Church Mouse, which I can only...
Just a fun little nickname.
Just a fun little nickname for someone who's a bit shy, innit? That'll bring them out their shell a bit. What's that? You're shy? You're a fucking church mouse or something? Oh God! Well, suddenly I want to talk to you. Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, now I feel really compelled to be talkative.
And then obviously Maxine is a star of the movie as well. I guess. So she wants to make it big. She wants to be famous. She tells herself that she's a superstar, doesn't she? Sex symbol. Sorry.
And that she will not accept a life that she does not deserve.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, great.
At the same time, there's lots of shots of like a TV pastor on like a little square black and white screen. I think just delivering a really long sermon and he's saying things about like filth and sin and sex addicts and how the pastor himself has had experience with people who've given into the devil and into their sin.
So that's kind of
a running theme.
Seems to be on 24 hours a day on like everyone's screens. It's like, what are they watching? This is before cable TV. Also, home videotapes.
The soundtrack to this entire film was great. Like all the music choices are really excellent. But I didn't realize how many of I recognize all the songs, but a lot of these songs played. I was like, what are those the actual lyrics? Like the lyrics are really kind of racy.
Or saucy old lyrics there.
There are a few kind of like cliched 70s songs that I think have appeared in every 70s movie. Like is House of the Rising Sun in this? I think so, possibly. But there is a good musical number, a version of Wee Wee Marie, which is a 1918 song, but it's performed. I think it's by someone called Chelsea Wolfe performs it. But yeah, it was a really sort of haunting thing. And of course, Kid Cudi's character plays a song on the guitar as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lovely little song that we get there. And of course, Don't Fear the Reaper makes another appearance.
Oh yeah, Don't Fear the Reaper, yeah.
Always a cult of retired happy on the genre of horror.
Absolutely.
They're raking it in. Like you're talking about the pastor.
Don't Fear the Peeper.
And you're talking about the pastor and the religious thing. That was probably my first guess going in watching. Said, is the real enemy, is the real villain of the piece going to be like religious extremism and you know the morals of inverted commas good people causing them to attack the immoral folks that we see? Doesn't play out that way.
What are you doing in there? Shooting a porno? God wouldn't like that. Have a stabbing. Something like that.
Yeah. They've got their flow chart out now, right? What does God like more? Stabbing or pornos? I think that he's probably more okay with stabbing.
Stabbing's fine, isn't it? Yeah. Stabbing, just have a little cheeky little stabbing in there.
Stabbing's all right if you say it's for God. He'll get it.
He'll understand. Exactly.
But it's not that at all.
So when these guys are on there, I think we mentioned last week about like the stopping off at a petrol station, before going to some kind of reclusive area in a horror movie.
You gotta have a full tank of petrol when you get there.
It's got to happen, isn't it? You got to stop off just before you get there. Stop off. Hopefully, if someone's working there who's a little bit judgmental or unsure, or a little bit creepy themselves, that is always a bonus too.
It is a trope, and it's a trope that Camden and Woods even had a little play with.
Little dig at.
Yeah.
It's a trope that seems to show no signs of like disappearing though. It seems to,
I mean, it's the best trope. I love it. It's my favorite bit of every horror film when they stop off at a petrol station.
Yeah.
And
you want to see what they've got. You want to see what you can get there. And it's like, oh, you can't get those sweets anymore. Not in a multi-pack. Yeah. You have to go to a garage to get them.
In the American ones, they always get those long. They're like pepperonis, but they're really long. I think it's a Slim Jim. I don't know. I've never.
Yeah.
Had one. But I always think that I always see those and go, "Wow, what is that? I really want that."
Get Twizzlers.
Giant.
What is that bit of long
piece of meat in my mouth?
Get a big bit of red licorice. Some bootlaces. They buy some Wonder Bread. Actually, they're buying props for their movie because they have to get milk that they can.
Yeah.
Pour as well.
What is Wonder Bread?
It's just like bread
milk,
that lasts forever.
Is it like Is it like the U version, like where
UHT
milk has
bread.
UHT milk? Because it's like UHT bread. It's like bread that lasts forever.
Yeah, and when they make sandwiches later, so I think it's kind of like it's catering for the shoot as well.
Yeah.
Which because you can't order in, Uber Eats won't go there.
Yeah. You've got to have something to have your spam fritters with that they have in a bit.
Yeah.
And there's obviously a scene where they shoot a part of the film outside when Jackson Hole is filling up the tank with a petrol pump, and Bobby Lynn, who's clearly got a lot of experience when it comes to shooting pornos, just says, you can pretend the petrol pump is his dick. And the director's like, that's a great idea, actually.
I really liked all of the interaction between all these extra characters. I thought the dynamics were excellent. And I really liked Bobby Lynn. I don't know, like at this point where she's like telling them how to do the camera and stuff and talking about how she's going to be a Hollywood star. I don't know. She was just like super charismatic.
It's the kind of character who could easily appear like a dick, like as being a dickhead, but she's
there's a
super
charming.
likable.
There's a warmth and there's a charm to the character, I think, and I think it goes the depth that we get in these characters, who in other slasher movies would be far more single dimensional, and you would struggle to care as and when they may or may not be killed. I was bothered by these guys. I mean, we spent enough time with them, and they have enough that's likable about them that I'm like, oh.
It almost made you feel like, I wish they didn't have to go out like that.
Yeah.
I want you all to survive. I will just watch this movie about you making a porno. Maybe there are some crosswords that are exchanged, but it turns out all right in the end.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the people who do tend to die in such a brutal and often unexpected way that it does almost feel like, they didn't even have a chance. Literally no chance to fight for their lives. They were just like bang, dead. And that was kind of what
I guess when your baddies are old folks, they are very heavily reliant on a sucker punch, though.
Yeah, don't want to get to a wrestling match.
Don't want to go toe to toe with anyone. Obviously, and a good supporting appearance from an alligator as well.
Yeah,
gets a big assist.
When they get to the farmhouse after the petrol station, and then there's a worrying scene where what's his name? The producer guy, I can't remember his name. He knocks on the door, Wayne, and then he's met by an older gentleman with a shotgun pointed at him, and he has like no memory of what they're doing there. He's obviously not completely there.
I spoke to you on the phone literally 10 minutes ago. No. Also, I quite liked, you never really see this guy's face dead on for a while. It takes a while before we see it.
Yeah.
It shows
I don't know,
sort of focuses on him.
I mean, we get some shots of him face on, but it's always quite late at night. Maybe to cover up the makeup, but
And Stephen Ure that plays him is not that much of an old man himself. He's not, 14, but he's not a 90-year-old.
No, I see.
Do you recognize him? I don't know that guy. I don't think.
I don't recognize him, but apparently he's an orc in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, he's in.
Oh, I know who you mean.
All the Lord of the Rings. Some of it. He's in a bit of Narnia. He's in Deathgasm.
Oh, he's that orc.
Yeah.
He's that orc. That guy. Yeah, I reckon that guy. Yeah. I always wondered who that guy was. I was like, I'd like to meet that guy. There we go.
Is he the one that says meat's back on the menu tonight, or is he?
No, I think he's the one who is the meat.
Is he the little? Is he the thinner orc? The one that's like, oh, he gives that shiny shirt. Is that him? He looks a bit like the shiny shirt man.
He does, yeah. Big old shiny shirt man.
Yeah. So it's him. So he's at the door, and we get Chekhov's unloaded gun. In this little exchange here, because when the confrontation is happening between the old man and Wayne, says, "Oh, don't worry, it's not even loaded. I just wave it around. Don't want the government coming around here sniffing about. So I wave it around. It usually scares people off." And Wayne says, "Oh, I do. I keep. No worries, mate. I'm real chill about this. I do exactly the same with a gun I keep in the glove box. Put a little pin in that."
Yeah.
Put a little pin in that for later. And then he leads them over.
I feel like I've ruined films for myself, because now whenever anything like that happens, my brain goes, "I'll come up later."
It's hard.
Would you prefer it if it didn't? Like if they had these guns and then they just never turned up again, would that surprise you? Would you think, oh, that's lazy writing? That should.
No, like I've just realised that if I just can't be happy, sorry. I
like
want it to be there, but I like it. I guess you can have varying degrees of success as to whether or not you remember or how subtly they do it. And this isn't an egregious example. I think it's a nice throwaway line. So it's just because we talk about movies every week that I think I remember these things. But I think it's a decent
I like
show.
it. I like it when things like that, Chekhov's items, when they do turn up again, but maybe in an unexpected way, or perhaps in a way that isn't as successful as perhaps it could be. Like, oh, don't worry, he's got a gun there, and then something happens which makes that gun in a way maybe it's used against somebody. I don't know, something like that.
You've now inspired me, though, Ben. If I ever open like any kind of item shop, if I move to an RPG world, I'm going to call it Chekhov's items.
Chekhov's items. You'll need this later.
Yeah,
you will. So then the old dude leads them to the guest house, which is like across the farm a little way. He walks super slow. Then he's like start coughing at one point as well, like he's on.
Yeah, it doesn't look healthy.
Healthy. He's on the precipice of death. How old would you say this couple are supposed to be? Like 90s?
90s. They are super old.
Super old. Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't and I think from the word go, we start to see the old lady Pearl from afar. We didn't really get a good look at her for quite a while. Just in a window, staring across. Maxine seems to notice her quite a lot. I don't know if they wave at each other. I think the first few times they look eyes, they can just stare.
Yeah. She waves a bit later.
A little bit later,
yeah. They all head along. Like you say, they're all. The old man is quite unhealthy. He's coughing. They think he's going to keel over right there. I think funny when he stops at a big cough, like everyone in the cinema is in, just adjusts their masks ever so slightly.
Yeah.
Every time reminded that coughing is a thing.
They have a bit of an awkward exchange as well. So I think that Howard, the old guy, says, "Oh, you didn't tell me you were going to be bringing so many people," and doesn't like Wayne give him a little bit of extra.
Yeah.
Just to keep it sweet. I know there's a few more of us. And
I think he even says beg for forgiveness rather than ask for permission. That's like
that's when he goes. That's when the others go. You didn't mention you were filming a porn, and he goes, "Nah."
A bit awkward with this old man coughing.
The old man's like he's putting all the pieces together. He's like,
"You're shooting a what now?"
Camera, women in just tank tops and very little else.
He can't even think about it too much. So he does. He talks about his heart being weak a little bit later, but he can't even think about that because his heart will just
can't. Yeah, your heart will not take it.
Your heart won't take it.
Chekhov's Dicky Ticker.
And Chekhov's
his name?
Dicker.
Yeah.
And he does
Dicky
say,
Ticker.
"I don't."
Dicky Ticker.
That's a good porno name. He does say to Wayne, "I don't much like the look of you, and I don't much like the look of any of you, your bloody mates either. See you later."
Yeah.
And he walks off.
And then he's like, I've got to go.
I've got to go. I've got to get back by the time the sun goes down because I'm just walking over there, but it takes me fucking ages.
Well, he's got to go down shops, doesn't he? Because he nips out directly afterwards.
Oh yeah, he nips out for what? A big shop or just some bits?
He's gone for quite a while. I reckon it's the big shop.
Bits and bats.
Big shop on his own.
His wife's got a condition, and it's going to be the big shop
for that hair.
It's 1979.
It's bubble bath foam. Her hair is a classic bubble bath foam hairstyle, which I like to apply to my head sometimes if I'm for a treat.
He's got to go in and get a big
or something.
He's got to go and get a big bottle of matey so he can do the bubbles.
If there's a stiff breeze, that bubble bath foam is coming straight off the top of her box.
So he's got to get some of that in, but. It's also 1979. You haven't got supermarkets in the way you've got to do now. So he's going to have to go to the butchers, bakers, candlestick makers, the whole lot.
Yeah. Wow.
So he's off to get the big shop in, which leaves the guys absolutely free to film a porno unencumbered.
Film a porno unencumbered. And also, at some point they go, we better get started. We're not going to have much light left. It's like, what? No one brought any lights? Going to do it with all the natural dingy light in that horrible little guest house.
Well, RJ is a purist. Obviously, he wants.
He's a purist, yeah.
He wants
Cinema
the natural.
verite.
He wants the natural light that's coming down there.
Yeah.
But don't worry, we can film it out of sequence. So he goes straight into a sex scene. He does the build up to it a bit later on.
What a genius. So the sex scene begins with Jackson Hole and Bobby Lynn getting down to
Unless
it.
it's Jack's in Hole. Like that's kind of the play they're going for, I guess.
Yeah.
Jack's in Hole.
Bobby Lynn's like a consummate professional. She's good at all the stuff. She's good at the sexy stuff, and she's good at the pre-scene stuff as well.
There's a bit where she like wipes some semen off of her back and like throws the semeny rag down at Jenna Ortega's side.
Does absolutely load up a spunk rag and like toss it at her. Toss it at the. Oh, sorry, I've thrown this spuff cloth at you.
Spuff Clough was a character in Star Trek, I think.
That old man's going to come back in. Dickie Ticker's going to walk back in a bit.
On his way back.
And he's going to be like, oh, bloody hell, that smells like a wanker's nightmare in this room.
Jesus Christ. It smells like the sea in it.
Stinks are coming here.
Well, that's exactly what I meant. But
despite
you had to go there.
Sorry to ruin it for everyone, but now, despite them being a superfood, I cannot enjoy superfood goji berries because someone pointed them out. We got some delicious goji berries for a recipe, and they stink of cum. So that's great. Can't enjoy those anymore.
Goji berries. There we go. I'm gonna have to buy some now just to check. So while the sex scene's being filmed, Maxine's like, I'm sick to the back teeth of this, and she goes, I'm off for an explore. First thing she does, she goes to the lake. I mean,
I'm not a big fan of open, like, what do they call it? There's a name for it, like
wild water.
Like a wild swim.
No,
anything where I feel like there could be fish or even like things that are like slightly slimy, even just grass, like bugs or something. I don't know why. So putting my feet in that kind of water, I'm not going to do it. And she goes and she goes for a swim, and I think this might be the best presented scene in the film. I was actually on the edge of my seat when I was genuinely like, wow, this is tense. Like it's so well paced and put together. There's like an alligator. For listeners, an alligator, and all it is she's swimming and an alligator's coming towards her, and it's just timed perfectly for her to get out
because she doesn't know it's there. She's completely oblivious to this alligator, and she even like stops at the little pier.
It takes a minute to get out, doesn't she? When
takes a minute to get out,
agonizing. She swims to the edge and like she doesn't climb straight out. She stops and is like, and gets out. I was sitting forward in my seat, like,
it's not perfect. It's the kind of thing that I watched them for. Oh, okay, Ty West is a pretty decent director. Like he knows how to create like pretty amazing.
Bloody
tension.
auteur, isn't he?
Yeah, really well put together.
Impressive. I like that.
Yeah.
And then
as soon as the alligator comes in there, again, next prediction is like maybe the alligator is going to be the real villain of the piece, but you know he's coming back. It's like, all right, you're turning up again, alligator.
Placid.
Yeah.
And then around about this time, we see that Pearl and her bubble bath foam hair. she's like watching Maxine originally like get undressed, and there's obviously she's very starey. She likes to look at Maxine. She waves at her at another point. And Maxine, rather than being completely freaked out by this old woman staring at her, goes, I'm gonna go and say hello. And she walks up to the house. And gets invited in for a lovely might be room temperature glass of lemonade, and it's sort of interspliced with the porno being shot.
That was good as well.
With the all of lemonade too.
Like all the porn bits, which were from the end resulting porn film, was like, we gotta be quiet because Daddy's going to be home soon, and he won't be angry, won't be happy. At the same time, we know that Dickie Ticker is on his way home.
Home.
Yeah, the parallel between the two. Again, excellent. Like really smart.
Really cleverly done. And like, because they're filming now, aren't they? The build up to the sex scene they've just filmed where where the characters in the porn film are also having a lovely glass of lemonade, and he's like, much obliged.
A lovely glass of porno lemonade. So but the her and Pearl are kind of awkward, Maxine. They kind of just sat there staring at each other, talking a little bit. And then when she's about to leave, doesn't Pearl start saying things about her age? And
she used to be a dancer, and she was also really beautiful like her. And then she
shows us some photos,
gives a little touch on the side.
And it seems like she's coming on to her, Lady of Pearl's age, coming on to Maxine, because she says this would be our little secret.
And Maxine says,
like, what will?
Yeah.
And then Dicky Ticker immediately arrives.
She nips out, and she gets out the side door and then goes back in. Like, Dicky Ticker is presented that he might be the dangerous, like, controlling, angry man at this point, right?
Yeah.
So then there's some more sex scenes being shot, and it's Maxine's turn to shine. She goes and gives herself another pep talk in the mirror, doesn't she?
I think she snorts some coke as well.
Bit of coke, gotta be ready.
There's a bit
of coke.
So her sex scene is she's like in the barn. I don't think they've even agreed with the owners that we're going to be doing some sex in your barn, in your stable, or whatever it is.
One of the guys says coast is clear. So I think they're keeping an eye out.
There's one sure. He's actually standing as Wayne's standing as lookout, isn't he? He's like,
executive producer / lookout.
Yeah. So she does a bit where she's riding on top of Jackson Hole.
She's the other farmer's daughter, isn't she? And she's been milking a cow.
Yeah. And then this scene, and it's like it interfaces with her. She kind of turns into Pearl at times as well, which is really kind of unnerving and strange.
And then Pearl is watching.
And we can't quite see her face though. It's a bit blurred in the glass.
Is that in Pearl's imagination? Do you think? Do you reckon Pearl's watching it and thinking, "I'll have a go at that"?
Yeah, because there's a moment as well where Maxine turns and seems to look directly at her, and I think that is all part of Pearl's twisted, fantasy. Older people have sex. I don't know.
I was going to say that's
95.
Pull this up here actually before we go into it. Like, this is the next, I think, interesting theme of this one. You mentioned when, you have the interaction between the two characters, and she's waving. Mia Goth is waving at herself in, as the two different actors. And so she interacts, and is she going to be afraid? I think there's that thing, isn't it? And I'm not sure whether it's a fear in younger people of one day you might be this old, and it's something that makes people uncomfortable, or are people afraid because they don't understand what it's like to be old? So there is that kind of fear of like extremely old people, even though physically they shouldn't be intimidating in the least. There is kind of a discomfort I think the film plays with very well throughout here.
It's a two-way street as well, isn't it? Obviously, a lot of the time, older people are very sort of suspicious and cynical of younger people of varying generations.
Mm.
But it kind of doesn't play these characters as being like that. They're very, it kind of reverses the roles slightly in terms of that. They're painted far more as a threat than anybody else. Because really, you could if you played it from the other. You could play it from the other side, couldn't you? If you started off with the old couple and they're like, oh, those people are coming to stay in the guest house, and then it's like, a crew shooting a porno, but maybe there's a psychopath within that group. They could have easily swapped the antagonists and protagonists around in terms of the group they represented.
Really interesting dynamics of that one. They could have, you could have explored it more. I like what they explored here, but you're right, it could have gone any direction. That's another thing for me. I was thinking, okay, again, a film that the choice the film could have made would be, let's flip it around and we'll make you worry about the old people, but then logically, sensibly, maybe it would be these old people are afraid of what these people. So again, one of the things I was left thinking was, is this going to be that they're all unnaturally afraid of each other, and it's going to lead to A real Tucker and Dale situation here. Big old misunderstanding.
Yeah. Big old misunderstanding. You're trying to kill us. You're trying to kill us. We're going to kill you back. There is a scene now as well where Pearl goes to try and have sex with Howard, but he refuses. He says, "My name's Dicky Ticker, and I've got
Dicky Ticker for a reason." Yeah.
My name's Dicky Ticker for a reason.
My name's Dicky Ticker, and I'm here to say.
Does a rap sex with you today? There's a lot of scenes where Pearl, like her night, she brings her nightie down to slowly reveal her naked body, and yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? Because I think as an audience, we're almost supposed to be, I guess, repulsed by these scenes, but in a way, it's like they're quite. This character's like kind of exposing herself in more ways than one, and appear in a certain way. But even at this point, I was still not quite understanding what was going to happen. I was a bit like, right, this is a horror movie, but is it just about a horny old lady trying to get in your pants?
Yeah.
It's one of those things as well, isn't it? You're right. Like, I think very deliberately so that the reaction to the characters sells the fact that you're, I guess the intention is, or the expectation is, that you'll be disturbed or revolted by an old lady exposing a naked body in the thing. Yeah, I'll tell you what, during lockdown, Boris Johnson had his face on TV every single day. Got him. But yeah, realistically, like, yeah, does that then cause you to reflect on yourself, saying, it's just like an old lady. Are those three fingers pointing back at me? I'm disgusting. I'm so intolerant. But yeah, I think it is presented the fact that this will somehow be psychologically damaging or painful if you were to see this old lady strip off. But you're right, she's after some sex with Dicky Ticker, and he points out, it's not I don't want to. Heart won't take it. And she's put blue eye makeup on, especially. But he can't do it. He's having none of it, so she goes up to bed.
He's like, the second I get an erection, my heart will explode. You know that. I told you that when you married me.
He's having to do lots of resource management, and he's like, look, I've only got so much blood left at this point at 95. I can dedicate it to erection or heart. What would you prefer?
What do you prefer? She's like, well, probably erection. I'm gonna be sure. So yeah, then the film crew are relaxing in the farmhouse after the first day of the shoot. I'm assuming there's supposed to be more than one day of the shoot, right? But things go crazy. And Lorraine, played by Jenna Ortega, who's played as this sort of like, I mean, there's been a couple of looks from her when she's watching during the certain porno scenes where she seems to be kind of like, oh, maybe I enjoy this a little bit. But then in this sequence, after the musical number, she does admit that she wants to be in the porno. And everyone's pretty keen for her to be in it, apart from her boyfriend, the director, who kind of tries to palm it off as, oh, it's going to affect the shoot. It's not going to make sense in terms of the story.
Kind of sets a perfect trap, doesn't she? Because she's like, well, doesn't it bother? Because Maxine is the producer Wayne's girlfriend in the story. I'm sure we've mentioned that. And then obviously she has had sex with the star of the porn film, Jackson Hole. And she's kind of set it up saying, well, does it not bother you that your girlfriend's having sex with another guy? And RJ, like a fool, walks into that trap. Is that, no, it's different when the camera's running. It's just, it's a professional thing. And they're all too, it's not about who you love. Like, sex is a very different thing. And there's an act of sex and there's an act of love. And then I was like, yeah, we're into it. And then this is when she does the big reveal. So actually, like, I understand audiences like sex. You've said you're making a meaningful, like, really well-made porn film. So it's not just any old trash. And that sex is not the same as love. And you think this is all great. So I'll be in it, thanks, because this guy has got an absolutely bonza willy, and I'd love to go on it.
That's exactly it. I think he does. I think Bobby Lynn does say, "We've seen you looking at him. It's absolutely fine." And she's just like, "I gotta get myself some of that."
I want to go on that.
As soon as the musical number ends, she says it. It's like the musical number ends, and there's that dead air moment where you expect someone to say, "That was lovely," but she says, "I want to be in a fucking porn film, please."
And all the others, apart from RJ, are right up for it. Like Maxine and Bobby. Then they're like, right, let's go and get you into some makeup. Let's get everything ready. RJ is not happy. He asks,
straight on it as well. I want to be in the porn film. Well, let's shoot it right this second.
Yeah. And you're right. Wayne is the RJ is kind of been like, oh, can't just change the story halfway through. It'll make no sense.
Yeah.
They shoot the scene. We don't see any of it. We see like the build up to it. And then automatically after that, we see RJ crying in the shower.
Like Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His eyes are like popping out of his skull, RJ, when he's in the shower.
You cry too hard.
Yeah, he cries his eyes all the way out.
Does it say crying your eyes out? That's what happened. That's where that came from. At some point in the past, someone cried so hard their eyes fell out.
Their eyes slipped out.
He's close to doing it.
Took him ages to put back in.
After a shower, he decides maybe he's crying because he's used that minty shower gel all over his nuts, and they're kind of burning.
I was used original sauce.
Oh, original sauce shower gel on the bollocks. Oh, mother of God. Are you crying in there because your girlfriend just had sex on film with a porn star? No. Original sauce. Don't worry about it.
And you had to operate the camera, so you had to get right in there.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Right in there?
Like
what kind of porno is that?
So clearly he's trying to...
he's trying to do it artfully, Luke. So he's got all the angles.
It's one of his little... He's got one of his little doctor's cameras on the end of like a little wire. And it goes,
a little endoscope.
It's an ass.
We didn't think of that. Like, obviously, he's trying to play himself off to be this kind of big experimental porno director, sex positive dude. But as soon as his girlfriend's involved, obviously they have...
Yeah.
It's a bit unfair because they don't have a chance to talk about it, just the two of them. She kind of drops it on him in the middle of this. And he's not like a particularly unlikable character. He hasn't done anything particularly wrong. So I don't know if he was maybe more of a bit of a douche.
He did call her frigid or something at some point. Stop being so frigid. And then she said to him,
"When did you become such a prude?"
She says that, she says the exact same thing to him as well.
Yeah. She's got him. It's an absolute masterclass. And he'd been enjoying himself beforehand because when they filmed the first scene, got a lovely little laugh at our cinema this bit. When they filmed the first scene and Wayne comes out, he goes, "Have you seen this? Feel how hard my dick is." And he like cracks him on the ground.
Yeah.
And he does.
Yeah. But yeah, he's not into it anymore. He's having a bad time.
Yeah. So he goes to the van. He's just going to leave them. He sticks on "Don't Fear the Reaper" by Blue Oyster Cult.
Good driving music.
There's an interesting music shot here where he goes to drive and then Pearl's in the way and the camera kind of zooms right up into Pearl's face. I mean, this is maybe the first time we see her properly close up. Like, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But my friend who I went to watch it with, he actually jumped. Like, he actually jump scared. I asked him about it afterwards and he said the film had just been like a normal kind of drama, like a fun drama about the porn industry for so long. I'd kind of forgotten it was a horror movie. And then that kind of happens where it kind of camera zooms and he said, it just scared me. Just wasn't expecting it.
It does make you jump this up. It made me jump earlier in the film when she's running away from Pearl's house and then she runs into Wayne. It got me. I was like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know what's happened up to this point. Obviously, she's tried to have sex with Howard. He's rejected her. And now she's gone, that's fucking it. If one more person rejects me, I'm losing my shit.
Yeah. I'm going to be in this stabbing motion with my knife. If someone happens to be in front of me who doesn't want to have sex,
to be
their
fair,
own fault.
I still wasn't sure, like, especially with the lighting that we have in this scene. In my mind, I was like, is there still going to be more to this? Is she going to be a Dracula?
Yeah. It seemed like there was leanings of supernaturalness. I thought maybe she was going to get younger because she was an young person in old person makeup. Like it's that in itself is a check of young person, old person makeup. Like you expect that to be a plot point, but it wasn't. It was like in Suspiria when you had What's the
Thinking
face?
exactly the same. Yeah.
Why?
Tilda Swinton's an old man.
mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tilda was not. She was already in that makeup. We just thought, whilst you're in there, do a few scenes, Tilda, and then
she's like, "I will. You wait."
already done them.
I don't know. It's one of these things. I know this was a very deliberate choice because we wanted the same actor for the parallels. But when other times you just have one old character. Pretty sure there's tons of old actors.
Yeah, but I think they maybe were trying to go for that unnatural old look. Like, I don't know.
Walking corpse.
Yeah, because they definitely didn't seem normal looking. And I think that kind of added to it. If they looked like just normal old people and we were supposed to be just like a little bit grossed out by it, I don't know, maybe that would have been just too much.
There was something, it was almost like there was something of a tragedy of how old she was. Almost like she didn't, like deep down, she still had these urges. She still wanted to do these things, but her body wouldn't necessarily allow her to do those things. And obviously her partner as well. And I guess one of the horrors of that was that there were these people in the prime of their sexual being suddenly flaunting it right in front of her, who was gagging for it. And I guess there's the fear as a two-way street. It's obviously her being terrified of the fact of how old she's got and the fact that her life isn't what she expected it to be. And for the young people to see her like that and say, like, well, that's going to be me one day.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to get. I mean, Wayne flaunting his erection around for anyone to grab, and Howard can't even get one
because it'll take the precious blood from his heart. Whereas Pearl, with her matey soap bubbles hair, is absolutely DTF.
Yeah,
she's out there.
She's absolutely DTF. Is the sort of the theme of this movie murder people, and if you can't get hard on, murder people, and then you'll be able to. Nature's Viagra.
The importance of hobbies. Like, if you can't do sex anymore, then just find something else to do.
Yeah.
And that's what she does, and that's what she does now. So she is with RJ and says, "Oh, let me let you show that I'm still good enough. Let me show you what I can do." And she goes to strip off.
Let me show you what I'm capable of, or something like that.
Yeah. I think she kind of she unzips her blouse or something, and then RJ kind of recoils.
That blouse should just be on Velcro because the amount of times it comes down.
Should be on like the popper trousers. Remember those like pop clip things?
Oh yeah, get yourself some poppers.
Yeah, but also like her stabbing. If she was an action figure, this stabbing action hand would be so quick, straight in the neck.
Yeah, those stabs are like super brutal. Yeah, so obviously because RJ recoils and says like, "No, I don't fancy giving you one." She's like,
"I'll give you one.
I'll give you one, a bloody knife." Stabs the shit out of him. How many stabs do we get? And they're really brutal close up, and the blood is spraying onto the headlights
and sprays blood everywhere, and just
there's a lot of like sexual imagery.
Lots
of sexual imagery, even in like the murder sequences with her mounting him and the spraying of bodily fluids onto a surface.
Yeah.
As the blood goes on the headlights.
She does a little dance.
Stabs him to custard.
Oh, yeah,
she does a joke. She does a Joker dance.
Does a Joker dance? Yeah.
It's a Joker dance. I was like, hang on a minute. Was this directed by Todd Phillips? What's going on here?
Yeah.
Oh, that one. Oh god. I was thinking it was more like the one in the bathroom. Remember the one where he like goes.
I was thinking that.
Whatever that is. I've just done a murder. Now I'm going to do a dance. The metamorphosis. Maybe it was a similar sort of thing. You know, that was supposed to represent the Arthur Fleck metamorphosing. Metamorphosing. Like, what word is that?
Metamorphosizing
into the Joker. Maybe this was supposed to represent Pearl turning from just a horny old lady into horny murderous old lady.
But I think she's already murderous, don't she? We find out a little bit later on.
Yeah, that's right. She's been doing murders for
there's been some recent. There's already done some recent murders, including Herbie the Love Bug. We find his body shortly.
Oh yeah.
Herbie, no!
Hurry, for God's sake. I mean, it's never in any horror movie when there's a selection of cars, you know, no one thinks maybe just collects cars for parts. It's always, fuck, they killed loads of people. They've killed loads of them.
Loves cars.
I just love cars. I'd buy loads of cars for scrap. No,
I do them up and flip them.
No, you've killed them all. What's that car doing in the lake? Fell in. Nah, don't believe you. Don't believe you.
That's the alligator's car.
That's the alligator's car.
All right, got you. Been neighbours for so long. Got you a car.
If he only had that car when he was trying to kill Maxine, he would have got there.
He could have caught her.
He could have caught her, yeah.
Just driving up, leaning out the window.
Beep, 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 beep. Snap.
He got run over in a lake.
So RJ.
So this is like
RJ's been knifed up. Lorraine wakes up in bed and RJ is gone. So she wants to look for him.
This bit where like everyone just kind of went looking for the next person, and then someone else woke up and went, "Oh, that person's missing." I mean, like this bit, I was a bit not as into as the rest of the film. It felt
which bit? Sorry,
just where like one person wakes up, where's RJ? Gonna go find him.
Then,
Then Jackson wakes up and he goes looking with Howard. It just felt like everyone was getting drawn out one by one. You kind of knew what was going to happen to each character.
This is where it got a bit. It was a bit by rote, wasn't it? At this point, I mean, there was a Home Alone reference. I don't know if Ty West meant this, but with the nail sticking out of the floor.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was pretty.
Yeah, she gets harried.
Yeah.
No, sorry, Wayne. Wayne in his brilliant in his brilliant pants.
I'm gonna murder that kid.
Oh yeah, it is tighty whitey pants.
Lorraine, she gets Lorraine gets Wayne up out of bed and goes, "Oh, help us find RJ." He goes, "Oh, all right, fine. I'll help you. I'll help you talk him down if he's gone off to cry his eyes out. So if he cries too much, they'll come out. He won't be able to find his way home." So he so they go looking. Lorraine goes to the house. And it encounters Old Man Howard, Dickie. Encounters Dickie Ticker
with his tricky dick.
Yeah, tricky Dickie Ticker. Because he does some tricks right now.
Yeah.
While Wayne goes back to the barn, and they say he proper quiet places it. Steps on a big old nail.
Yeah, steps on a nail. And then this is quite good because we get like a nice silhouette of Pearl approaching with a pitchfork. Pitchfork?
Yeah, I mean, obviously this kill is very obvious what's going to happen. I mean, what you were saying earlier, Ben, it's like there's like no struggle in a lot of these deaths. Like we can, it's like telegraph what's going to happen. Obviously, something's going to poke through those holes into his eyeballs.
Oh yeah, of course, that's what happens. Yeah, the holes in the eyeballs.
And it's
jams
just
him.
It's not really very surprising. I mean, it's still quite satisfying, I guess. But then, like after she stuck him in the face, she comes and just puts some hay on top of him, just little
buries him
of hay. Yeah.
No one will ever know it was him. No one ever know he was there.
Yeah. Whereas Jenny Ortega doesn't. Dickie, what's his name?
Ricky Dickie Ticker says, "Oh, and this is going to sound weird, but I've got one torch. You help me. We'll go and help you look for your boyfriend. Also look for my wife because she's also missing. Maybe they're together somewhere."
Awkward.
I have one torch up here. I keep the other torch down in the dark basement. Don't ask me why. I keep it down there. Will you just pop down and grab it for me? And she does. She is
like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, because like pitch black down there as well.
She goes down, gets the torch, and then on the way back out, she's locked in. Only then does she go downstairs and find out.
I thought this was going to be like a fake out. Like it was going to be. We keep thinking, oh, something's going to happen to her in the basement. Oh no, it actually isn't. Silly us for thinking that the old people were. I know we'd already seen the murder, but I was hoping that perhaps it was going to paint Howard as being completely innocent in the whole situation. But no, he locks her in. She's shouting, and then when she goes downstairs to actually look around, she finds a previously murdered. Well, all people murdered have been murdered previously, but she finds a dead body.
One they killed earlier.
His tackle out, meeting to veg out.
First penis of the movie, and we've had loads of boobs already. So good on you, Ty. Equal opportunities.
This was obviously what the police were looking at in the first scene, right?
Yeah, I think so.
You should come. I don't know. I was expecting something else as well. I was expecting something mental.
Oh yeah, I was expecting because like the detective was like, "Holy Jesus fucking Christ! I can't believe what I'm seeing." And then when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, okay."
Well, he's like strapped up with a belt. He's like strapped up with a he's strapped up with a belt and stuff. He's naked. You have to imagine 1979 strangle wanking people to death was probably quite new.
Yeah.
Hutchins. I would have gone. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
Well, who's to know?
I felt like there could have been more going on in the basement. Like maybe more than one body. But it looked like I don't know, pretty run-of-the-mill sex torture dungeon to my eyes.
And they get him up there, those two old
Yeah, they can't even get it like across the garden without.
Can't even get a penis up, let alone a whole man and a penis.
Well, pulley system. They obviously attached him to the strangle wanking rack and just hoisted him up with a series of levers and pulleys.
That's probably about right. If you can build that, though, he should just build a sex machine for Pearl to enjoy. You know?
Like a Japanese doll thing.
Yeah, just like one of those dildos on a motor.
On an exercise bike.
And if she's like, on an exercise bike, and then she can get her steps in as well as getting pounded to dust.
I'm not sure what engineering capabilities they had in 1979.
Oh, they have police systems they can pull people up to kill them with. I don't know if it's around here now, but Jenna Ortega does a "Here's Johnny" moment. She axes her way through the door, and as soon as she put her hand through that hole, I was like, "That's getting mangled."
Someone's going to bash your hands and someone's going to green room you, aren't they? They're going to bash your fingers.
Green room. That scene in Green Room is so horrendous.
Horrible.
What way he pulls back out of that? Oh man, I need to watch that film again. That's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still quite effective in this one. Hands got. What is he hitting him with? The butt of the shotgun.
Butt of the shotgun. Yeah, he smashes a hand, breaks one of the fingers at least.
Yeah.
To like a crumpled mess. It reminds. Yeah, it's.
Thing is, like he does it, and then she's like very slowly goes, "Ah, you fucker." And it's just like slowly kind of if you like if you trap your finger in a door or stuff, you yank it back quick. Ah, you fucker.
Ow, you fucker. Ow, and again. Ow, and again. Ow, and again. Leave me alone.
I'm putting it back in. He's like, you just stay in the basement and you've chopped my door. Thanks.
When he says stay in the basement, I would have thrown the axe. I mean, it's easy to do. Anyone can do it. I would have thrown the axe perfectly through that gap so it lands straight in his noggin.
Yeah.
Why did she do that?
Yeah, she should have done that. What I would have done is I would have thrown the axe. It would have hit the edge of the door, span round, and it landed on my foot.
Your neighbour would turn up behind you.
And then you'd have fallen.
What have you done there?
Fallen
down there.
Probably give me that axe, Ben. You're not safe with them. You'd have fallen down the stairs, Harry and Marv style.
Yeah.
Somehow there'd have been tar on the stairs, and your shoes and socks would have been off. Why did you take your shoes off?
Well,
fan covered in feathers. And then someone puts the neighbour's there to put a tarantula on your head.
The neighbour's there to just go bed. Wee. What a laugh. Oh, fuck. Crowbar the shit out of it.
So then Tricky Dicky Ticker goes over.
Dicky.
Tricky?
No, it wasn't Tricky
Ticker Dick.
Dicky
Howard.
Tricker.
Wait, his name's Howard.
Howard.
Dicky Tricker.
Howard.
Dicky.
Howard.
Dicky Ticker.
How hard?
Dicky Ticker.
Who's Tricky?
Howard. I can keep saying it. Howard is almost how hard. How hard. The answer is 0.
How hard? 0 hard.
How hard?
It's all flaccid.
Flaccid. It's like playing pool.
Like flaccid.
Instead of a cue, you're using a piece of rope.
Yeah.
With some lovely spaghetti.
That's how flaccid he is.
Can't even thumb it in.
Thumbing in a softie. That's like stuffing a load of plasticine into a mold. That's yeah.
Trying to fill a pillowcase with blancmange.
But here's the thing, like he goes to see trying to fill a pillowcase with blancmange. So he goes to ask Jackson to help him locate Pearl, and it is officially being rubbed in his face now because Jackson, it was a man who was hung like an oxen, opens the door, and he's like, "What do you want?" And she's like, "Oh, can you help me find my wife? I can't get an erection, but you're stood there."
Jackson is still swinging about.
It is like, "Oh no, I haven't got an erection, Howard. Look, this is just me normally."
Yeah, he's swinging around like a metronome, and
I wondered at this point, and did you guys pick up on this when
The penis,
when Jackson goes? No, I was more interested in the product placement. When he goes for a lovely drink of milk, but when he's just going to the fridge, he just wakes up thirsty.
A lovely drink of full fat milk will quench any thirst.
Yeah, lovely glass of ice cold milk. He doesn't think about, I want that fresh cereal in the morning.
No, you don't care.
He doesn't live. You're not that close to the shops. But he goes up for a lovely drink of milk. But on the milk box, there's a couple of missing people. I wonder, are they the people?
It was, yeah. It was. He had the same like mustache, like facial hair as the guy in the sexton.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was. Yeah, it was that man and the love bug. Herbie was the other picture that was on there.
Herbie, no.
Yeah. And he's wondering he doesn't rumble it because Howard comes up to him. How hard?
When was the last Herbie movie? Oh, do you remember a Herbie movie with Lindsay Lohan?
Yeah.
Herbie, Fully Loaded. If you give me the year of the movie, you get 10 points.
2001.
Oh, no. Bit later.
2010.
How old is Lindsay Lohan in this one? Is she like a kid actress or?
No, she's like 17, 18, right? She's old enough to drive a love bug.
Like Mean Girls kind of age. I guess about 2005 or something.
Ding, ding, ding. Spot on.
10 points.
10 points. But Herbie's floating in the river. The alligator's not been driving him. He's so ungrateful. MOT's expired.
I took myself out of the movie as soon as he came up. Thought, Herbie, no. But then he finds Howard's torch is. Jackson doesn't have a torch because he was in the Marines. I don't need a torch. I'm used to working around in the dark. Once a Marine, always a Marine.
Yeah.
You ask a Marine, excellent night vision, carrots all day long.
Yeah. You say something like he spent a lot of time
looking for landmines in the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
Looking for landmines in Vietnam, completely separate to the war. Just as
find any.
Oh, here's another one.
So how hard disappears for a second, right? And his Jackson sees the torch and it's like in the lake, and he thinks, "Oh God, how hard has fallen in."
Like Herbie, he's probably he's seen Herbie and he's trying to get him out, and he's fallen in.
As he went through that, I was definitely thinking alligator's going to get him at some point. This is the whole thing, but then it doesn't. Jackson gets back up, and then suddenly How Hard is right behind him, and he says, "Once a Marine, always a Marine," because maybe How Hard was in the Marines as well.
Yeah, he was in the art. He's been in both wars. I think his wife.
It looks like it. It looks like he's been in all of them. Yeah,
been in the wars for sure. He's only 28.
Yeah, again, like Jackson dies. I don't know. There's like no struggle at all.
Again, with no struggle, and it just felt unfair. Maybe it was supposed to be like that. We were supposed to believe that, because they're so old, everyone lets their guard down to such a degree that even when he's got a shotgun, and then bang, dead. I suppose you wouldn't just automatically assume everyone was out to murder you, but still, it's disappointing. And I think the way that Jackson goes, and also the way that now Brittany gets got, is also pretty. I mean, disappointing.
So what happens with her? So she goes out to. She wakes. Oh, actually, no.
While this is happening, Pearl is doing the little thing that people do when the kids mention they do, and they creep into their parents' bed in the night. This is what Pearl does to Maxine right now. So she gets in. She's like, "I'll sleep in your bed." Clearly say no if it's not all right.
Say no, it's all right. Okay.
Gets in with her, and then is like,
gets in naked. As well.
Yeah. Oh, he said, "Oh, I sleep naked. Sorry, that's how I am." Gets in.
You can't deal with it. Fuck you.
Yeah, say no. Say no clearly to me getting in bed with you. Okay, then she gets in, and she starts with like, a bit of stroking on, a bit of stroking on the back.
Foreplay.
Doesn't wake her up. So before you know it, she's gumming all her hair and all sorts, giving her a right old sniffing.
That's the next step. Gumming her hair. Well, you like that, do you? You like that touching, do you? Hair's getting gummed.
Squeezing a bum in the bed. She's doing all sorts of things.
Yeah. Maxine.
Like motorboating her. Yeah. Mr. Ventura. Silver.
Maxine wakes up and screams, as you would, wouldn't you? I mean, if you wake up and there's a load of bubble bath foam next to your head, you'd be like, shit.
Like eating your hair.
Whole load of bubble bath foam. Someone's been at the matey. And of course, non-consensual touching. No matter how old you are, 95. Get
old enough to know better.
Before you old enough to know better, exactly. Yeah. Get that consent before you start touching or getting into bed with anyone naked. So she screams, runs away, and
Pearl just does one. She's like just runs out of the room for a bit.
She looks like she floated out of the room in this one. I was a bit like, whoa, it's creepy. She kind of like just walked
skateboard. You can see skateboard.
Yeah, she's not into me. Skateboard. How many times? To be fair, how many times can you get rejected? She must be. Her confidence is shot to shit.
Yeah.
If this was like a late 90s, early 2000s thing, Pearl would be the real underdog. I just can't get laid. If she was played by Jason Biggs.
Yeah.
Bisexual elderly woman.
Played by Steve Carell.
just a college movie about how she has a right to sex too.
She goes back to college.
It's not fair. All those bullies.
Just to have sex.
To get laid.
Yeah.
Van Wilder helps her find her groove.
Van Older.
Yeah. There's a KY jelly wrestling scene. Beer bong scene. Will Ferrell turns up for a cameo.
Streaking session.
Probably ends up sleeping with Sean William Scott, and that's who she ends up with at the end.
Yeah.
Sounds great. But he's disgusted by the initial act of sex, but then realizes the error of his ways, falls in love with her as a person rather than how she looks physically.
Yeah.
Learns a lot about himself along the way in like a Shallow Hal like scenario.
Yeah.
And then gets married to a 95-year-old woman who dies immediately.
Immediately afterwards.
Yeah. And everyone goes, you were just wanting her for the money. And then he rips up the will or whatever.
Says, I never wanted it.
I never wanted any money. All I wanted was her. And now she's dead. And every time I have a bubble bath, I'll be reminded.
Well, you can recreate her.
Yeah, sculpt her.
Then she'll disappear like Infinity War.
He stands at the bathtub crying every time he watches her go down the plug hole. Classic Pearl.
Poor old Pearl. So Pearl does one. Brittany goes out after her. Brittany goes out after her and finds her sort of standing naked on the dock.
Yeah.
And she does a little bit of patronizing. She goes, come on. Well, first she tries to be kind. She goes, chill it out, have a blanket on.
This is the bit where Ben went for a wee-wee.
Yeah, I missed this bit.
So you missed this bit.
I've been filled in. Not literally.
Beg your pardon, you beat up.
I can't believe we haven't made a pearl necklace joke about Pearl yet.
I was saving that.
She's absolutely gagging for a pearl necklace. Pearl. That's where she gets her name. Her name's actually Anna.
What's funny because Maxine takes the necklace off because she. Oh no, it isn't. It's Lorraine that takes the necklace off because she has a Jesus on, doesn't she? She takes it off to do the porno
before she does a porn scene. Yeah,
but it's not Pearl's necklace, so
just don't want to watch. It's not Chekhov's pearl necklace.
Yeah, says God's gonna sit this one out like the Punisher.
Bobby Lynn.
So, yeah, Bobby Lynn, Brittany. Bobby Lynn goes out. She patronizes Pearl a little bit and says, "Oh, my nan is absolutely Coco Loco as well. So I understand that you get confused."
Coco Loco.
And Pearl says, "Don't give me that, you absolute slag. You've been flaunting it around here all the time. You've got me absolutely horned up rotten. And then you seem to have a problem when I snuggle up with your friend in bed. Where do you get off, mate?" Bobby Lynn goes to call Pearl a bitch. She loses her temper with her, but before she can deliver that line, she shoves her into the water and the alligator's right there and absolutely death rolls the shit out of her.
Yeah, we don't really see it completely, do we? I mean, it's kind of obscured by the thrashing, bubbling water that's getting increasingly bloody. But it looks like the alligator's like roly-poly in the water.
Yeah, it's definitely got her. There's no odds about her not being in there.
Yeah,
there's no coming back.
And then we hear the car drive off and the alligator with a cigarette in his mouth.
Yeah, like drives away. Back home.
See you later.
My work's done. Same time next week, Pearl. Yeah. All right. See you in a bit. And they're off. At this point, Maxine is still in the house, but she doesn't know what things are going well. I think she stops for a little bit more cocaine here.
Yeah.
Because she needs to be strong to the finish.
Yeah, she just stops for it's the pre-final boss.
The save room.
The save room, yeah.
I'm gonna buff myself with some coke now to make sure I'm ready.
Yeah.
And then Pearl and How Hard, Dicky Ticker come in, and they said, "Oh, Howard's not living it first." It's like, "Oh, blooming hell, killing people's a hassle, isn't it?" And he's like, "Well, I just want to know that you find me as beautiful." And he goes, "I do." She says, "Oh, you just said." And says, "No, I think you're the best. When I first met you, and nothing's ever going to keep you down." And she says, "Well, things have been keeping you down, Howard. I'd rather you get up." And he goes, "All right then. I do still want you. I do still fancy you. So prove it. I will have sex with you, but I'm not sure my heart can take it." And she goes, "Look, you've mentioned having a heart attack 3 or 4 times now. It's definitely not going to happen. You're not going to have a heart attack. Stop suggesting it."
"My heart can't take it." She says, "It can." I go, "All right, Dr. Pearl. Sorry. Sorry about that. All it took was just me to just ignore it." Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Yeah. This isn't going to come because it's not you that's going to have a heart attack if you put too much strain on your heart, is it? It's me. Because your heart can take it. So probably the most graphic sex of the film.
I don't know, but we see butt cheeks clenching.
We see some bum thrusting
and relaxing, and then clenching, relaxing and clenching. But that's about it. We don't see any semen or anything.
No semen. Yeah. It's quite for 2 murderous elderly people. It's done, I guess, quite tastefully, realistically, how it would probably be, which is just
nice view from the ceiling.
Nice view from the ceiling. Humpy, rinky
missionary,
bum, missionary, tongue diddle, front diddle.
It's all that was invented then. It's 1979. Yeah. Only 3 positions have been invented then.
Exactly. When did the Kama Sutra come out? Come out. Like, when did it come out? When was it released? Was it released on Amazon?
Yeah. I mean, he's not the only one. I mean, I felt rough for for Jackson. I mean, he'd filmed at least 3 sex scenes a day. He would have been spuffing dust by the end of that day. And Howard, it's probably all he's got left. All those years in the game.
Yeah, nothing. He was like a completely empty Hoover bag by the end of it, spuffing dust. Just came out like a big old ball, a big old cloud of talcum powder.
a big wheeze. But it turns out that while these guys are on the bed, Maxine is under the bed.
Yeah.
She's going to be feeling like she's having a pretty bad trip right now.
Oh yeah, but to be fair, she doesn't like. I thought she was going to stay there for like the whole duration of it, but luckily she does get the hell out of there.
Crawls out and is able to get back to the main house to try and begin an escape, and starts by getting Lorraine out of the basement in the house.
Yeah. Whose hand has been
smushed. Yeah.
Smushed.
Lorraine, I liked her character. I don't think she particularly acted well in this moment. Just like ran straight out.
Yeah, and screaming. I think she says, "Be quiet," and she's like, "Who are you to tell me to be quiet? Look at the state of my hand."
Yeah, she's like, "I hate you."
That's my favorite bitch. I fucking hate you guys.
Yeah. And then she just, as soon as she steps out onto the stoop, she gets blasted away. I think we get to see a bit of her face. She's like still alive, like gargling on her blood and stuff, but she doesn't look like she's in the... I mean, she's not going to do a scream on this one. No. She's not going to make it.
Yeah, she's been full blasted with the shotgun. Good shotgun in this movie.
Yeah.
You really feel like it's a powerful weapon.
Yeah.
Very scary.
Then
the guys come into the house.
Or something?
Well, they come into the house. They don't know. They don't know that she's also in there. That as far as they're concerned, Lorraine has just escaped. And he's like, "Oh, blooming hell, I told her to stay in the basement so we could murder her more easily later." They don't know Maxine is in there. So Dickie Ticker and Pearl are on the back and just want Gizand getting her in the house then. Said, "I'll just leave her there. It's all right, no one's going to come." Said, "No, you can't just..." Because it doesn't matter now. It doesn't matter if Maxine has escaped. Now we've got each other again. It's one of those things, isn't it? You have all these plans and then you have sex and it's like, probably won't bother. They've got that post-orgasm clarity now.
Yeah.
And they're just
God, what have I done?
They're just like,
we say those things?
We should tidy this up. So give us getting these things. Give us getting Lorraine inside. As they're bringing her in, we get that close up on her face, and she does a spooky gargle, which, after all that, gives Dickie Ticker a heart attack.
Yeah,
Chekhov's heart attack.
Was it that, or was it the post-sex come down where his heart was going? You know what? I am going to give you a
bit of both. Pretty bit of both. And then Dickie's ticker ticked no more.
Yeah, stopped short, never to go again. When the old man died. And he dies like instantly.
Yeah, that's it.
I kind of thought he's going to come back. I thought we were going to get I don't know. It seemed like he wasn't dead all the way.
There's going to be a Don't Breathe 2 situation. He'll be the hero next time.
And then Figgy's got the gun.
She pulled the pistol from the glove box. She now steps out. Pearl says, "Oh, Gizand, will you? He's dying." She goes,
"Yeah,
don't care, mate. Where are the keys?" They have a little bit of a standoff where Pearl goes for the shotgun. Maxine goes to fire at her, but as Wayne revealed early in the film, it ain't even loaded, so it doesn't go off.
Yeah.
Pearl grabs the shotgun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is pretty funny.
This is great. Maxine is able to kind of duck and cover at the last second, but being a frail old lady that's made 80% of bubble bath, firing a shotgun blasts her right out the door.
Shit. And it breaks her hip. Oh, gutted for it.
Yeah. Which Howard even said earlier on, he was like, if she falls, she could break her hip. So that's once again Chekhov's hip.
Chekhov's broken hip.
Yeah.
Don't fire a shotgun. I mean, her form was all wrong, clearly. She just completely...
She puts it like fires her out like it's a broomstick, not a boomstick.
That's how she gets around. That's how she gets around usually, around the farm.
And on a skateboard and a shotgun.
So Maxine heads outside. Pearl goes, "Oh, geez, mate, we were having a laugh before, but I've broken my hip. Will you give us a hand?" And she goes, "Nah." Gets in the car, reverses over her head, and then speeds off, listening to her music. And is it this point we get the reveal? Because when the guys put the telly on earlier to drown out the rain shouting in the basement,
it's the next morning we see it. So I think we do see the TV with like the pastor, the preacher dude talking all about sin and all that stuff. We do see that, but I don't think it's until the next morning that we close up on the TV again, and it's revealed that Maxine is the daughter of this Christian family who's
the preacher,
who are doing these speeches, the preacher, and it shows a picture of her. It's definitely her because the little cluster of freckles. And then after that, the police discover RJ's camera and go, "What could this contain?"
Horror movie, they say.
Spooky horror movie.
There's a bit at the end.
It's got to be one goddamn horror picture or something like that.
There's a bit at the end that goes to the detective. So what do you think happened here? He says, "I've got a fucking clue."
Yeah,
no idea.
Great. Yeah, I love that.
Fair shank.
It was. I didn't see this until I was looking at reviews and stuff. There's a post-credit sequence. I didn't stick around for it. Did you guys?
I think there's a post. I believe now. I don't know if this is true. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think there was a post-credit sequence only on some showings of the movie, maybe in America, like some early showings of it.
The YouTube leak of the sequence is pretty good. It's essentially a trailer for a prequel movie called Pearl, in which she is like a lot younger, like it's in like the 20s or something, and it's like her doing her first murderings, and she's like dancing all over the shop.
Okay.
So she's been a dance murderer for years, because he does mention in some of the scenes how it's like, I'm too tired to do it anymore. So yeah, it is kind of implied that he's been helping her with doing a murder for ages.
Yeah.
I think it's already been shot. I believe like the whole film. I think they shot them back to back, and apparently.
Interesting.
So.
Yeah, I watch it. I don't know if I'm that interested in this as a franchise. I quite like this as a standalone film, but
apparently they've confirmed a sequel as well, right?
Can you do sequels? She broke her hip. She's not.
Her head's been smashed off.
And her head's been smashed in. Don't forget that.
Yeah, but a hit.
Who knows? Maybe like.
Right, so I've got some name game. If you guys are up for some.
Yeah.
So the first one is a film set in 1979. It's a group of young filmmakers, and they set out to make an adult film. What is it called?
X.
Sex.
Oh, there we go.
You'll get this one, Ben. I'm sure you will. In 1979, a group of young filmmakers set out to make an adult film specifically targeting people who like to take their trousers off, colloquially known as
kegs.
Oh, you say kegs?
Well, I said kegs, and I thought you guys said kegs, but I would say kegs.
We say kegs, but yeah, kegs.
I'd adjusted for the region.
In 1979, a group of young filmmakers set out to make an adult film in rural Texas, but are attacked by frigid witches and their non-sexy spells.
Hex.
Well done. Next one. In 1979, a group of young filmmakers set out to make an adult film in rural Texas, but every shot is accidentally not pointed at the action, like it's pointed at the ceiling or the floor, because the director, RJ, forgot to bring his...
Specs.
Well done. Last one. In 1979, a group of young filmmakers set out to make an adult film in rural Texas, but are attacked by giant mechanized Japanese fighting robots / vehicles.
Mechs.
Well done.
Wow.
Anyone's got any they want to throw in there?
Any off the top of the dome, Ben, this week?
Freestyling.
No. I don't know. No. No. It's hard, that one.
Let's have a look. A group of young filmmakers rent out a local old couple's house to film a porno film. When the old folks attack them, they are crushed in the between the chest muscles of the male lead.
Pecs.
Pecs, right, saves the day.
I like it.
Yeah. I was going to use Pecs, but
Use Pecs.
I chose Mex.
Mex
I
and
was trying to think
sex
of something
Mex.
like Tex-Mex, but
Tex-Mex.
couldn't
Yeah,
get there.
Tex-Mex. They all enjoy a lovely meal of Texan and Mexican food
and Mexican
fusion.
film.
They enjoy that, and then the film ends. It's a nice ending.
I thought you were going to rock up with some ones that are either just single letter films, for example.
I was thinking that as well. Yeah.
A group of people hire an old folks barn to film an adult movie in. However, negotiations prove difficult when the old folks haven't got the hearing aids on and they can't hear what they're saying to them.
I don't know. What?
Deaf.
Deaf.
A.
I said deaf. I said deaf.
No, it's A. That film.
That version of Name Game could go on forever.
What about in 1979?
There's 24 more.
A group of young filmmakers set out to make an adult rural film in Texas, but the old people who own the farm look in and they're confused as they don't know why would anyone do such a thing.
Why would anyone do such a thing?
Just why?
Why? Yeah.
Why?
Question mark.
Slipped in there.
There's actually that version of the film, Luke. Funnily enough, they redid it.
Oh yeah.
In Mexican cinema, they redid it. Well, they were just asking what was happening all the time when they were looking in.
Gay.
Right?
Gay. Have you? Apparently, they made a version of this film as well with Judi Dench in the lead role as a pornographic actress. They said it crossover with the Bond universe. It's M.
They also did the same with Ben Whishaw.
No, it was nowhere near as good.
No.
Judi Dench, utter filth.
So
right,
there we go.
We need to rate the film X. We need to rate the film. Sorry, there's a cat bum in my way.
What a cat bum. What do you guys think?
Oh well, we got a soundboard ready.
I got a soundboard. It says Luke saying B minus. Rate
good.
Go
with
or rate bad.
A B sharp on this one. B plus.
Oh, yeah.
I actually thought it was excellent at times. I just feel like Ben feels the kills were a little bit too sudden when they did eventually come and did happen, and I also felt like it. I don't know. It felt like it didn't go far enough. Like it didn't push its conceit far enough for it to be. I don't know. It felt like it just could have gone a bit further with it all. What about you guys?
Yeah. So I think I might just give it a straight B. I did really enjoy it. I enjoyed the aesthetic of it. I liked everybody involved, actress and actor wise. Yeah, a really good stylish film. I just think it was missing a certain ingredient. I don't quite know what it was.
Doesn't have the X factor for you.
Didn't have the X. Well, it had an X factor, but was it the X factor I wanted? And that's confusing. Simon Cowell would be like, "You got the X factor. Oh wow, am I through? But it's not the X factor I want. Fuck you." Yeah, it's missing a certain something. And when the kills started, I feel like it was a bit like by the numbers in places, but I did like the ending as well. And I would definitely like to see a prequel because I think Mia Goth is great.
Yeah,
the extended adventures of Pearl, where she gets that necklace.
When she's gifted a necklace,
Pearl's necklace.
I want to see the origins of her sex drive. That's what I want to see. Like, Jesus Christ, literally everyone you interact with, you're trying to screw.
Jeez, Pearl.
It's not sustainable.
Go on, Andy.
Apparently, she lives till 95. Yeah, I'm going to go for a B for this one as well.
Covered all the pieces.
Yeah, all the pieces. No B minus though. Just a regular B from me. I think the characters were given more depth and personality and were more likable than we're used to seeing in this type of movie, and I really appreciated that investment in them. The other areas, I think the kills were perfectly effective. Maybe it creates a little bit of an imbalance because of where that goes in the film and how quickly some of your guys go out. Despite us joking about it, all the Chekhov's items, it doesn't bother me. It's fun. Like it's part of that viewing experience for that genre of movie. I think it's a fun way to enjoy it. Yeah, I'd see more of this. I'd certainly see more from this group. There are other people who I hope I see more in horror as a result of this as well. But yeah, all in all, had a really good time.
Cool, lovely
stuff.
Next week, what the hell are we doing next week?
The Witch.
The Witch, yeah.
We're living deliciously next week, everybody.
Long time coming. I just want. Do I rewatch it?
That's
I've seen it loads.
Subtitle to this film. Long time coming.
Long time coming. If you're 95, it'll take a while.
Yeah. So The Witch next week, that'd be good. And then I could finally watch The Lighthouse, which I've been meaning to watch for so long.
Yeah.
So thanks for listening. Be sure to join the Patreon at patreon.com/horror hangout, where you can get early access episodes, bonus content, and heaps of free stuff, and some merch as well. And you can join awesome patrons: Lane Spencer, John Crennan, Ben Scaife, Stephen Christopher, Toby Miller, Laura Kendrick, Scott Rigby, Ollie Child, Pazuzu, and 2 brand new patrons, Julia Bilgren and Leslie Carlo. Hope I'm pronouncing your names correctly.
Julia, Leslie, welcome. Wow. Thank you to everybody.
Thank you so much, and welcome to the family.
Yeah.
Is it a family, like a dysfunctional family? We're just kind of like weird uncles, right?
Well, okay. So we also had a review from Australia, a guy called Tripolar. So which is like bipolar, but the next boss stage. And they said, fun and informative with a good mixture of recent and older films, dipping into related areas like video games, very relaxing and easy to listen to, ideal for the drive home from work. Also, a variety of funny English accents and some beards.
I don't know what you mean.
This is a regular voice, this tripod.
You must be listening to different podcasts. You got mixed up, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
I think we'd go for a relaxed vibe around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not stressful, is it? We don't go, right, what do you think of this one? I don't know. Yeah. Too much pressure.
The most we've had of stress is when we had a week to watch 1 billion films last week. We did it.
We did it. With our comedy accents.
No.
Wow.
What a lovely
Wonderful
time.
Thanks everybody. What a great time for all involved, especially us.
Well, thanks.
There we go.
For listening. Thanks to my co-hosts Ben and Andy for being right horror dudes.
Thanks, Luke.
Thank you, Luke.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you, Andy. Thanks, everybody. Thanks to Pearl. Thanks to Ty West.
Thanks, Ty.
Thanks, Ty. Keep it going. Thanks to that alligator.
Yeah.
What a performance.
Drive your Volkswagen Beetle with pride, Mr. Alligator.
Yeah. That's the prequel I want to see. I mean, alligators can live for a long time, can't they? It'll still be around in 1918.
Yeah, it'd just be much, much smaller. Like the size of a newt.
Yeah. Size of a newt.
We fit in the car then.
Yeah.
Recreate that scene where she's getting out of this, where Pearl is swimming.
She flushed the pet newt, and then that's how it got into the lake.
See, that's what I want. That's what I want. Give everyone what they want. Okay.
Yeah. Alligator prequel. Get it happening, Ty, please.
Lake Placid. Get it made.
Lake Flaccid, did you say?
So the origin of the alligator, the car, Pearl's murders, and Howard's erectile
dysfunction.
Pele wasn't advertising penis pills on the telly then, 1979. He was. Oh,
he's winning World Cups, mate.
It's even earlier though. Obviously, that would have been like the 50s at the earliest.
God. There we go.
Right. There we go. Till next time, everybody.
Nice one. Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.